recording. What's going on, guys? We are back for session 6 of our Pathfinder game. Last time some stuff happened, and if you want to see it, you can find it right here on the channel. For now, let's start with some in-character reflections. I have no idea who used hero points last time, so let's just roll random again. I like that better. If I can find my dice, there's my dice. Starting with Donald. Lots of stuff happened last time. How does Lucia feel about things going on? What's going through her head right now?
Going through Lucia's mind, she is between a rock and a hard place. For her and Papa to do their objectives, it's going to be quite difficult with Poe watching them. And
holding your spellbook.
Yes. Well, in Lucia's mind, she can always use that as a type of leverage at times.
Fair enough. Is that all?
Yes.
Okay. Roll in one. I'm gonna hit 3 like 5 times here. Son of a bitch. Yep. Okay. Anderling Masson. Things are going on. You're swimming. How do you feel about all this?
Really not much. Not much story-wise has happened. But I mean, Enderling is quite proud of himself for having killed just a crap ton of people.
I will definitely take a tally of everybody that dies today so I can hand out experience a little more accurately.
Nice. Yeah, like I said, just for the most part, he's the product of a Viking culture, of the Viking culture, and he's just really proud of himself for having taken care of all of these warriors. That's really all I can say about him.
Fair enough. So we'll do even, Sarah, odds, Van. And it's odds. Van, you're on.
So, Pogue, before this, the previous episode, was weighing, do we go get them or not? And he's like, yeah, okay, go get them. And so that part was kind of easy. But then, in the course of all this fighting and them just being kind of in a corner, Pogue's kind of discovered a little more, like, he's kind of sort of has been sort of a dandy. So to get in there and really just like rip it up with people, it used to be his words were his weapons more than anything. So for him to be fighting, well, not quite shoulder to shoulder, but maybe shoulder to knee with Enderling, is, he was feeling pretty good about his ability to run headlong into battle. Whether that's actually wise or not is yet to be seen. But he's gotten away with it. He realizes bringing the books over, or all the gear over, his intention is to give it back to everybody, like, just, hey, we're part of a team. But then looking at him was kind of like, wait a minute, these are backstabbing evildoers, and I know they're up to no good. And so, at the very end, he's like, we need to talk first. So he's a little torn because at his heart, he still believes in the good of, of people and being able to come out and, actually be productive and stuff. But, it may take some people longer than others to see the good side of things. And so in that regard, he's just wondering whether Lucia and Papa are going to perhaps be good teammates before or after his untimely demise. So that's kind of where Pogue is at the moment.
Fair enough. Okay, Sarah, you're last.
Okay. Well, Papa Emeritus is still dealing with a bunch of conflict. He's trying to get his shit together. So sometimes he'll bounce back and forth between being an asshole and being nice because he's not quite sure how to act, because he was shown that his religion might not be all it's cracked up to be. He was trapped in a cell last time, and then about halfway through he got out. and I think Pogue still has some of his shit, so he has to get that back. And that's the gist of everything.
All right, fair enough. So if you did not have a hero point, you are back to 1 hero point, and my phone buzzed. Thanks, Adam Spain from the Inn of Planar Crossroads, for messaging me. That's what I get for not turning it off, I guess. Roll initiative, you guys.
Already?
Already.
All right.
We're not technically in combat at the moment, but things are moving on certain turns, so.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Well, Donald's going last.
Pogue didn't steal your stuff, by the way. Pogue is returning it to you,
Oh, well, thank you.
just at his own pace, with some
I
conditions.
see. Some conditions.
We can't select our stuff, by the way, Tommy.
What?
I'm talking to Tommy. We cannot select our tokens.
Weird, it shouldn't have changed. I'll fix it here in a sec. Let me get the initiative written down, and Donald is bringing up the end of the pack here.
Oh wait, no, never mind. Never mind. I had it selected to something else.
I see. So at the top of the initiative, things happen that you don't see. Everybody make a perception check. If you see me rolling dice, it's because I'm making decisions. Everybody who's watching the stream gets to see it, but you guys do not. Okay, so let's see here. Everybody hears the alarm is still going off, but you don't hear the sounds of booted feet marching around anymore. Everything's gotten, like, not quite eerily quiet because, I mean, the alarm is still blaring every couple of seconds, but you get the feeling that you're not in immediate danger right now. Agrus continues to put his ear to the ground and, like, sniff the walls. He moves around a little bit. He'll move over here. The woman in the veil follows him, and she looks like it's hard to really pick up a whole lot of emotional expression from her because her entire face, except for her eyes, is veiled. But like, she watches Agrus with concern. Mercutio just kind of like stands there awkwardly looking around, and I think it was Van top of the initiative. Yeah.
All right, so
we're not in combat, but move actions are still move actions, standard actions are still standard actions, and you can move as far in a turn as you can because, like, there's still stuff that could happen.
all right, so do I have a moment to have a conversation with these two?
Yeah, talking is still a free action, and as long as somebody doesn't, like, spotlight forever and ever, then you can do whatever you want.
Okay, so Poke turns to Papa because he's in front. Says, because where we had it at the very end was he had his finger up and he said, "Just a minute." So continuing on from there, says, "So Papa, I have your stuff here, but I need to make sure that you're not going to kill me with it. I want a guarantee from you, being all lawful and stuff, and you know, those same rules that you abide by everywhere else that you refuse to break, that here you will not crush this rebellion in this country. Once you get back to Cheliax, it's your own business, but you leave this and my people alone. Do I have your guarantee?"
Fine.
Sarah, you know that directly violates the reason you're in Qadira in the first place.
Yeah.
So when you say fine, are you telling the complete and honest truth?
This is your chance to turn over a new leaf, Skullface.
There might be pending actions, though. If I like turn that leaf, I might get hellfire raining down upon me.
That is quite true.
Shit.
But if you aren't being honest, we will need bluffs and sense motives and things like that. So are you being honest?
Oh. Yeah.
Then she's being honest.
All right then. Okay, you get all your stuff back.
Do you give back the luck stone too?
Yes, including the luck stone.
Okay.
And here's your lucky
Thank
stone.
you.
You're welcome. Don't use it all. Don't use up all your luck in one place. Now, as for you, pretty lady,
Yes.
Algruz looks at you with a big smile on his face. No, he does not. Continue.
we need to see eye to eye on something.
Okay.
You heard what I had to say to him.
Yes, we reform and aid you.
I don't care what you do and what your other game is, but you don't harm this rebellion directly or indirectly in this country.
I got it.
Asking you to betray Cheliax on its own land, I would never do. Even though I disagree with that country.
We may have our differences, but as long as we agree to the mutual social contract to aid each other in this, I have no problem with this deal.
To aid you in the to aid into the rebellion. Whatever your nefarious evil shit is, I don't care. I don't want a part of it. Got it?
Got it.
Are you telling the truth, Dog?
Yes, Lucia wants certain items, and if aiding the rebellion help her get closer to that, she willing to honor her side of the bargain.
Fair enough.
She gets all her stuff back. Grandstanding over. So,
Yeah.
Pogue wants to go. Pogue knows that there's other people back up. I'm going to treat the top of the screen as north.
Sure.
And that there was like more loot and stuff up there. So he's looking around. He's like, so guys, what about the other people up there and the loot? Like, what do we do?
Mercutio, like, as you say this, he looks at you and he nods and like he says he felt really bad leaving that elf behind, and there's certainly plenty of other people, members of the rebellion or not, still down here. They need our help.
True. We should.
And that may be our best way of getting out.
He nods in agreement. The other two don't seem to pay you much attention.
Okay. So I want to go back to there was a door right up here, right?
Can you show me?
Oh, yeah, I guess if I...
Over there. Yeah, hang on a sec. That would probably give you like here-ish. There are... That's all you can see for now, but there were several doors there, yes.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, I'm looking back where we came because I remembered that we came from up here. This is where all the loot was, right? So
the loot was a little farther up, but yeah, pretty much.
Right. Well, I'm clicking on black right now, so.
Well, you're very close.
Yeah, because my line of sight is apparently 20 feet.
Oh yeah, the crystal skull is not there. Never mind. You can see farther. I forgot that's like a table.
Yeah.
So we'll give you. Hell, we'll just give you the whole room.
All right. So
10, 15, 25, 35.
So
I think line of sight is normally like 60 feet.
Yeah.
So I'll give you this much too.
All right, so I'll come up there. And I want to see, because there was stuff up here before, and there was people fighting and stuff like that. So I want to see where our compatriots are. So I'm actually kind of halfway in between the two. I'm standing in the doorway, right? I'm like, what are we doing, guys?
Sure. Okay.
And sort of, nodding, this is the way I think we should go. And that's my turn.
Okay, we'll pass to Sarah.
All right. Who do I want to interact with today?
You could always go swimming with Enterling.
That might be awkward. Suppose is this to our right? Is that like the end of the hallway?
Hang on a sec. I realized I didn't reveal something I should have. There seems to be a big blackness where Pogue stepped. There is actually some hallway there. To your right, You can see what you can see by scrolling. Fog of War is there for a reason.
So, but this was a door, or this was the wall, right? Before?
Yeah, the wall, she can see the wall, but like she can't see where Donald had gone to those stairs around.
Right.
So there are stairs.
That's right, but you can't see them at the moment because they're out of your line of sight.
Okay. I'll follow Pogue.
Do you have anything else you want to do?
I guess I'll perception. I don't know if I'll see anything that Pogue did not, but I could crit. Damn it.
Or not.
And you do not. Yeah, you don't see anything I haven't described. It's really quiet except for the sound of an alarm blaring.
Yeah, I guess I should have asked about a perception roll. Does that really make a difference or not?
It can. I mean, natural 20s are still natural 20s. Natural 1s are still natural 1s.
Do you want me to roll one really quick since I said I was looking, and then we'll just...
Yeah, sure. Why not? Go ahead.
Okay. That's not what I want. I'm trying to be better about using my character sheet correctly. Just 18.
18. You don't really see anything else. It's
Okay.
more like the higher the perception checks are, it's more of like what you're not seeing, and it's a little unsettling because you know you're in a prison and the prison is like going into lockdown. And I mean, you
Right.
guys are definitely stepping over, around, and through a lot of dead Kadiran soldiers to get back to
Right.
where you are.
Right.
Other than that, like the Kadiran soldiers and the NPCs in the party appear to be your only company down here.
Okay.
So let's take it over to, I think Joe is next. Yeah, Joe's next.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember how far beneath the surface you are.
I swam back up to the surface. If I
Okay.
remember.
Oh, yeah, you'd swim up and be like, hey, there's stuff down here. Yeah, that's right.
I guess I'll get out of the water and I'll go right here. I'm gonna poke my head down this hallway with a perception check to see what's down this way. Sniffing the air, just taking everything in with my weird cat eyes as well.
Ooh.
It would probably be 4 eyes.
No cat eyes. You want to use that hero point?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Do my eyes deceive me? Yes, they do. What's
That
on a
natural
crit
3
fail?
looks so good. Okay, let's see. You see, like, basically just a hallway with nothing in it from where you're standing.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just finish out my turn. Perception check is a standard action. I'll just end right here, see what anyone else sees that's of interest.
Okay. Then it goes to Donald.
Okay, so I'm going to accompany Papa and be using a scroll in front of healing to heal my wounds and the non-lethal damage up.
Sure.
So that lasts like a minute, so I just keep track of that.
Okay, cool. So for the next 10 rounds, you have fast healing. That's a certain number. Okay, fair enough.
So at the end of the minute, my non-lethal damage would be taken care of. And I also going to listen to my familiar. So how are things down in the corner down there where he is?
Pretty much the same. You can make a perception check if you want. Otherwise, you get basically the same information.
Okay, so I roll my familiar perception then?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, I forgot it. Forgot a D in the roll. So 27 for my bird's perception.
Okay, so like I said, there's like directly across from you in a cage, there's a little like white monkey. You rolled high enough on your perception check. He turns around and you can see like from the back of this monkey sprout a pair of red like parrot wings. he looks a little more intelligent than he had appeared before. He like looks like, as opposed to just like sniffing around like a monkey, he's just kind of like pacing around his cage a little bit. There's still an owlbear in war paint down there. There is still Mercutio's dog, as well as what I had described as a really, really, really big tiger covered in like armadillo skin, essentially.
Okay, Poe, for time's sake, let's try to finish exploring and freeing more people on this level. If we're going to secure the rest of the prisoners' allegiance to the cause, captured POW, captured prisoners, we need to free the animal companion and familiars down there if they're going to be of any use to the cause.
Yeah, but we already have 3 elves and people up here
Yes.
that we don't want to leave to die, do we?
It would be a sin to have animals die when they don't have to.
Well, so both. So where are they? Where are your animals?
It would. I point to the best of my ability where it is the animals are in the map. So it would be a second level below or third for sense.
Empathic link for a familiar. Do you get? Do you just get like you get a little buzz when they're within like a certain distance of you?
So-
I forget.
It would be a kilometer, so I do not know how far my familiar is away from me exactly. So
It is definitely like well within a kilometer of you. You guys have a strong enough connection that like you can pick him up with no trouble.
So if can I point in a direction ish, or it?
Do you get the ability to do that? Like rules is
No.
written with familiars,
No.
then no, you can't.
No. So I tell him it's close to us. It's less than a kilometer in the proximity somewhere.
So it might actually be up the way I'm going already, right?
Maybe.
It certainly could be.
Let's go see.
Okay.
All done, Donald.
Poe, do you want the keys or should I hold on to them?
Oh yeah, she does have like all the keys.
I think you should hold on to the keys.
Okay.
As the road
my-
jingles his lockpicks.
I have my own set, thank you. Works everywhere.
Well, I will follow you, my Capitan. as I
Says that all
joke
of them.
in this, as I say this in a somewhat French accent.
He sticks his hand in his shirt and he says, "That's Emperor, bitch."
Okay, DT Poe.
Enderling, what you doing?
What you doing?
Looking down this hallway,
Do you
trying
feel?
to see what there is to find.
Do you see your future down there?
No.
Because I
What
see your
is
future
an
up
empty
this way.
hallway.
I see your future. It's up this way. Let's go.
Are you done with your turn, Donald?
Yes.
Okay, so let's have. Let me see here. Pogue, definitely. Oh yeah, let's have all 3 of you. Everybody who's not Joe, make a perception check. Did I get Donald's?
Yes, 21.
Ah, there it is. Okay, I see. Okay, so you guys see Rivariel cross here, and behind him, there's the man looks a little more stately than your average rebel that you've seen. He's wearing really pristine clothing. Serenre's holy symbol is emblazoned upon his shirt, but he looks really lost at the same time. There's a scimitar hanging from his waist. There's a shield hanging from his back. And he's just kind of like idly following Rivariel, looking around. He looks really scared. And Rivariel sees you guys. He sees you guys. And they're just going to continue on down this way. He'll follow.
Does Rivariel have any notable things on him I could identify anything about him?
You are certainly entitled to knowledge checks.
So, let's see. Does he dress in a very noble fashion?
He's wearing the like mithril chainmail you guys had found back in that armory. He's carrying 2 elven curve blades, which are a little shorter than the average one is, so he can dual wield them. But all of his gear is a little tarnished, like he doesn't really take care of it, and it's also like covered in blood.
Okay, so I'm not going to do a knowledge check that I can't think of.
12 on a knowledge history. Oh, it doesn't give you like a whole hell of a lot of information. You get the feeling that if this guy is involved with anybody, he's involved like in the short term. He's not wearing any he's not wearing Kadiran colors. He's not wearing anything that would identify him as a former member of the Eagle Knights or a member of the Cult of the Dawnflower.
So there's nothing to get that, like, sometimes you have elves that have been around for, hundreds of thousands of years, and it's like, oh, he could be the Rivario. Nothing like that.
Oh, no, nothing like that at all.
Right. All right.
So let's go to Pogue.
All right. So, do we want more stuff, or do we follow Rivario and the random-looking dude? I'm asking because Pogue is at a loss momentarily because he's like, there's stuff up there, and that's where I thought Rivario is, and now he's not where he's supposed to be.
Why don't we follow him to see what he's up to?
Okay.
Papa, thoughts?
Yeah,
All
that
right.
sounds good to me.
I'm going to go this way. Now, was there a hallway here before?
Yeah, there is. Now that you've moved, you can see it. My fog of war foo is not what it should be. You can probably see all of that. And you can see all of that. Probably, yeah, that's fine.
So where the hell did they go? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, 6. Was this a dead end, or is this only as far as I can see?
That looks like it culminates in like a little circular wall.
Okay.
So now that you're there, there's a staircase up here. My revealing must look terrible for you guys. You can't see down it. It goes, though on the board it only occupies a couple of squares, it goes down quite a ways.
It's all right, so it's going down or it's going up?
It's going down.
Okay. Found a staircase, but that's not where the elf went.
It's not. Well, you'd be able to see. Like I said, my roll 23 is terrible. There's a little passage right here.
Oh, is this where they went?
You get the feeling.
Okay. All right. Well, that's my move. I might as well stop and listen as I'm waiting for everybody else to decide what they're doing. I'll just do another perception.
Okay.
He's primarily sight and sound based, but is there any particularly foul, animal smells that he wouldn't be used to smelling in a courtly courtesan profession?
Not really. You can definitely, now that you're a little closer, you can hear the man, you can hear his anxieties from here. He's pretty nervous. He's breathing pretty hard. His footfalls are coming down pretty heavy. In Kalish, he's muttering prayers to Serenre over and over and over again.
Okay.
You imagine Rivariel's in front of him, but you don't hear a peep out of him.
Okay. Well, I've moved as far as I can move.
Then we go to Sarah.
All right. I will enter the room. Follow Pogue. Where'd the people go? Oh, I see, I think. They were on the corner. Right there. All right. There he is.
He sees you as well, and he, like, as you approach him, bedecked in your divine raiment, he turns, like, he begins making, like, a really, just in, like, quick hand motions, the sign of the dawn flower in front of him, and he keeps praying. You don't speak Kellish, so you just hear him just, like, looping the same couple of phrases over and over again, but nothing really happens, and he looks pretty upset about it.
All right, I'll say I'm not going to hurt you. You're all right.
That sounds like a diplomacy check to me. Okay, his shoulders relax a little bit. He stops, like, just praying over and over again, but he doesn't say anything. He's still kind of, like, looking down his nose at you a little bit. Like, he's gone from fear to disgust, I guess would be the best way to say it.
Well, fine. He can be that way. I did my best. I'm not going to say that out loud, but I'll probably be thinking that.
Is that all you got?
Yeah, heck, we can go to somebody else.
Then we pass to Joe.
Alrighty. I'm going. All you squishies are going shit up. Let's see. I'm gonna just move over here.
Okay.
Double move over there.
Double move and pass.
Yeah.
Then we go to Donald.
Okay, so I'm going
I always
to...
get really nervous when I see the wizard is measuring
I
distance to stuff.
am...
Something happened to Enderling's tokens.
Did you delete yourself?
I don't know what I did.
I am just figuring how far I can move using double movement for my turn. So
I see. Okay.
I am not going to fire a magic missile behind Paul. I am not that mean.
I am large size still.
Okay, so I come up here to see what is going on.
Okay, sounds like a perception check to me.
13.
There's a man, like I said, he's carrying a scimitar in his shield, and he's wearing really, like, out of character for everything else you've seen, really fine clothes, and, like, across his shirt is emblazoned, like, a golden threaded Cernerus holy symbol, essentially just slapped across his chest. He looks pretty nervous. You can't see Rivariel, but you get the feeling he's probably, like, right there.
Okay, so Papa, what is Vivao doing exactly? I saw him went this way.
I'm not quite sure if she's at her mic at the moment. She went upstairs. Here she comes. Well,
Sorry, my mic. I walked past something and my mic or my headphones came unplugged. What's up now?
Okay, so I ask you. So what is Vivao doing exactly? I saw him came this area. So what is
the
his...
party isn't sure. You saw him like cross, but he hasn't said anything, and you haven't said anything to him.
So what is he doing? So
nobody knows.
Okay.
Okay. I end my turn.
Oh, just about dropped my phone. Okay. I'll roll evens on. See how Rivariel feels about you guys. Okay, yeah, sure. He'll turn around. He comes out. And he's like all smiles, but it's really like sardonically, I guess, best way to word it. Like as he comes out, he's covered in blood. His hair, his face, his arm, just like drenched. He looks at you guys. He doesn't say a word. They just kind of like how the Kadiran man was looking down his nose at Emeritus. He's kind of doing the same thing to you guys. Doesn't say anything. The man just kind of like looks at Rivario, looks at you guys. He looks really, really lost. He like, well, somebody roll like sense motive or perception or something.
All right. Well, as we're doing that,
By somebody, I mean all of you, I guess.
Oh, I may not be so bad in sense motive area. So 15.
The man, like, you get the feeling that he, like, this is the first time he's seen a dungeon as far as, like, being on the prisoner side of it. Perception reveal, like, he's very well-muscled, very well, like, he doesn't look like just some dude. His beard is well-trimmed, his hair is well-trimmed. He kind of looks like a soldier. But, like, above the common rabble you guys have been kicking around, I guess.
do we know any? Can we tell where he's from?
You can definitely tell he's Kadiran.
Okay.
Like, by his skin tones, by his hair color, the way he wears, all of that.
Okay, so if I use the, let's see, I want to figure out where he is from exactly. So I'm thinking it would be knowledge. Let's see, items. Would it be knowledge history? I think.
Yeah, sure, that can work. That's fine.
Or local or geography?
Perhaps not geography, but local would be fine.
Geography would be better.
25.
So, this guy is definitely Kadiran. This guy is definitely, like, he carries himself like a soldier. You guys have rolled. Geography doesn't really tell you a lot. But the local would reveal, like, this guy looks like a high-rank military. He's got, like, Serenra's holy symbol slapped across his chest, leads you to believe this guy might be something like a paladin, a cleric, something like a divine caster who's very, very faithful.
Rivario, are you?
You don't like. You don't know a specific name. You don't have you can't put a name to the face, but you get the feeling that, like, you might be looking at least a captain in Kadira's military, if not, and probably higher.
So Poke says, Rivario, I'd like to see you smiling, although it's kind of alarming. But
his smile deepens.
Who's your friend?
Rivario, like, he throws one of his swords up in the air and then slaps the dude on the back to push him forward, and then grabs his sword mid-flight. The man, I'm not going to roll bull rushes, but he stumbles over here. And he begins, like, just stuttering in a really, really thick Kadiran accent that his name is Hamid, and he is paladin of Sarenrae. He's trying to speak in common, but his common is really, really, really bad. He begins, like, making Serenra's symbol like a sign, like somebody might, like, cross themselves. He's doing the same thing as he gets closer to the Cheliax. He's obviously, like, he is really, really, really nervous being around you guys.
He speaks
really,
Kelish
really,
or
really.
Kelish? Kelish?
Yeah, I know, I hate that so much. And there's Kelish, like the Kelids farther north. He speaks the language of the Kadirans.
Oh.
He's speaking Kelish.
Kelish. Okay.
Yeah, you get the feeling that's what he would speak, but he is speaking. It's just really heavily accented.
So I asked him in Kelish, who are you?
He looks a little surprised, and he looks down, and he says his name is General Hamid, Paladin of Sarenrae, in service to the Dawnflower and just all these other hereditary titles. And
so that's wonderful, big guy. But you here to help us or not?
He goes on to tell you that he's served in Kadira's military for 20 years. He's been faithful to the Dawnflower for his entire life. He goes to reach for his weapon because he knows you guys are, like, technically from his point of view the bad guys, but he stops on the blade and then tells you that he was in prison for continuing Serenre worship after the rebellion broke out. But it's strange that like they would imprison him for his worship and for his beliefs and stuff, because when the rebellion broke out, he lost all of his powers. He no longer can like channel energy and stuff like that. He's effectively fallen from grace.
Right.
He's not sure why. He goes how he's been faithful for his entire life. His family has been faithful.
Well, being imprisoned for your religious beliefs isn't an uncommon thing around here. At least you weren't imprisoned for your height. Now, which are you going to be faithful to? Serenre and the Dawnflower, or this country that you served your whole life?
He looks like he's afraid to answer around you guys. He starts stuttering again, and his hand like drifts down to his scimitar. He doesn't draw it. He doesn't get really combative, but he's obviously like, he kind of looks like an animal. He's backed into a corner.
So I need an answer before my friend over here eats you.
Which friend specifically?
I'm pointing at Enderling.
He looks down the hall and he probably has no idea what anything that lives that far north is, so he probably equates it with the devil worshippers, and he just like in Kellish starts like praying for salvation to the Dawnflower. He holds his hands out and then nothing happens, and he just like dejectedly puts them back down. And he just kind of looks at you guys and just, I surrender, please don't kill me, basically.
Poke says, you're looking for your salvation for Serenre? We're here. Let's go.
He asks you if you're a member of the rebellion.
I hold out my hand and, the fingers together.
And the thing happens.
Yeah, the thing happens. And
okay.
Live long, tell him to live long and prosper, and let's go, dude.
Sure. You have to actually Nanu to make the Dawnflower sign show up. He looks really like he sees this. He goes back to his weapon and his hand stays there, and he says he's served Kadira's military his entire life as his father before him, and he would never dare betray, though they have imprisoned him, he would never betray the Empire, his satrap, the nation of Kadira, all of that.
But you betray your god.
He kind of like, he shrugs his shoulders and he says he feels more like his god has betrayed him.
Your god has put you in the hands of your god's servants to do your god's bidding. You choose.
Make some kind of check.
Make some kind of check.
He begins to go on he's going to start a tirade about how the cult of the Dawnflower is just a bunch of heretics and it's not what Serenre is about. But he deflates. What's up, Donald?
While this is going on, Lucia, in her mind, she is enjoying this for it's a drama worse.
Because the halfling's mad at somebody else for once?
Yeah.
Yes, this is... Wait. We have something in common? This is a rarity.
Yeah. Hamid kind of shrinks a little bit, and he says he'll follow you. He surrenders. He won't give up his sword. He goes to he puts his hand down on his sword and he starts saying some incanting some kind of spell, but nothing happens. So he just kind of sighs, and he says you can take his weapon if you want to take his weapon. He surrenders. He is at your mercy. Rivariel looks at him like you might look at a stray dog.
Well, Rivariel, what do we do with them?
I don't care. What do you want to do with him, half-man?
Pah.
This is, after all, your rebellion.
My rebellion.
And now we've caught one of your enemies.
Let's get our collective asses out of here, out of captivity first.
Fine by me.
Did you come here? Are you here alone, or do you have other people you need to free?
If I had other people with me, I'd be out by now.
So let's go get other people. Are you with us?
He looks you up and down, looks at everybody, and kind of... Fine. But if things go south again, don't expect me to stay around and save you. I don't know where all the guards went, but I imagine they're fortifying somewhere. We probably don't have a lot of time before they show up in force. There's plenty of other people around here. We need to find a place to defend ourselves. We need to fortify. and he just continues like ranting all these tactics at you.
Right.
I
He
But-
immediately like he assumes a position of command. He probably
what?
walks a little closer to you.
All right. Well, watch our friend. What I come up to the stairs.
Okay.
That's 4 squares so far. I'm gonna kind of perceive down the stairs. Anything with the 21?
So it looks like you see moss and stuff, but you don't. The thing about Roll20 is there are only so many steps.
Right.
Those stairs, it would probably take you like a full round action to run down them, though. Like I said, it's just hop skip. Under there,
Right.
it's just kind of more like everything kind of opens up a little bit, and then
Okay.
there's a wall on the far side.
No animals.
There's blood on the floor. No animals, but there's plenty of blood on the floor.
Hmm. So as I was coming by, did I see anything up here? Was this an alcove or?
Yeah, yeah. There's stuff there.
Okay.
You don't see anything necessarily specific, but you see like there's a little room there, and then there's a hallway that branches off.
All right. Is there a wall that way?
Yeah, there's a wall there.
Okay. What's up here?
Up there brings you guys back to this room.
Oh, okay. And we hadn't opened all these doors yet?
I don't believe you have now.
Okay. Is there any sounds going on here at this point or no?
There's an alarm.
Right, but I mean like people
Other than that,
out
no, there's nothing else. You get the feeling that the things Ariel said about the guards regrouping and coming back in force are probably correct, but it's not happening right now, so you don't hear anything.
Is this the hallway up here?
Yeah, sorry.
All right.
My Roll20 through sucks. Also,
Right.
I can see the entire thing from where I'm at, and so again, they can see where all the people are.
All right.
Yeah,
So that's the end of my
there's
move.
a hallway here, and then there's like a little bit of like going down.
Oh, so this is going down too?
Yeah, but
Okay.
not as far. Just kind of like what you would see on the board, just like 5 feet of movement.
All right. So I say stairs down here, and there's stairs down this other direction. I'm yelling at them.
Okay.
Not even really necessarily aware of whether they can actually see me or not.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
Papa
the end of-
Meredith can probably see you.
yeah,
That's
okay.
probably it, though.
Yeah. So that's the end of my
And your
movement.
stuff.
Yeah. So
Then we'll go to Sarah.
ran my little legs off. I threatened somebody, and
Okay.
It's been a busy day for you.
yeah.
Well, if the guards are regrouping, then we ought to hurry. And we ought to stick together, because if we get separated and get, like, one of us gets cornered by a bunch of guards, that spells trouble. So we ought to stay together as a group. I will follow Pogue.
Do you say what you're saying out loud?
Yes.
So as you pass Rivariel, he pats you sarcastically on the shoulder and just, yes, the Cheliax gets it. Should you make them sign a contract to make sure they don't bugger off?
I'll smack you upside the head. Don't think I won't.
He puts both of his swords at your neck. Like lightning reflexes right where, like, both of your, I can't think of the vein that's in your neck. I am brain farting. Your jugular is just, like, back and back. He looks at you, he cocks his head a little bit. Like, he doesn't say, "What did you just say to me?" But that's what his eyes are saying to you.
So that's how it's going to be, huh? Alright, well, killing each other isn't going to help anything. So put your swords down, and we'll move on.
That sounds like a diplomacy check to me.
I'm going to nat one this and get my head sliced off.
Hey, you've got a hero point.
And there'll be a halfling. There'll be a 3/4ling.
He does not seem to care about what you're saying, Sarah. There is nothing stopping you from just like backing up. He's not applying pressure to you, but like A flick of his wrist and you're in trouble, basically.
Alright. Well, there's nothing stopping me from trying again, so I'll say a little bit more sternly, like,
You guys should have seen that little extra bit of board. I didn't realize it wasn't revealed. It's nothing really crazy. It's just there is a hallway there.
but I'll sigh and just be like, I'll say it one more time. Put the swords down. There's no need for this. Come on. Gotta move on. Shit! Oh no! Oh no! Alright.
No, you didn't.
No, you use your hero point.
Do you want to use your hero points, Sarah?
Yeah.
You are some kind of oracle.
Yes, it seems.
She has seen the future.
You totally
Okay.
saw that one coming.
Okay, the imp. Look at Papa.
Oh no!
Okay, let me describe what happened.
No way.
Let the GM describe what happened. Okay, so you go to say what you're gonna say. I'm not gonna just kill you. I'm not that mean. It's really tempting. What can I do? What can I do? Rivariel again seems completely unfazed by all of this.
You can let
But,
that pissant escape.
In your you can tell also, I should say, because I keep forgetting you have this, is he understands Infernal because that's the only language you are speaking right now. In your mind, everything gets really muddled, and all the stuff that Mustafa did to you sessions and sessions ago starts to like dance around in your head. Sarah, roll me a d4. For the next 3 rounds, and then we will roll again. You're treated as good, which means for the next 3 rounds you do not have access to your spells and stuff. Your personality is that of one who has completely like embraced everything Mustafa is saying. In 3 rounds you'll revert for another 1d4 rounds, and on and on and on. For the next, roll a d6. For the next 5 repetitions, and then at the end of it you'll revert back to your normal self. But right now you are the neutralist good of neutralist good, and you believe everything that Mustafa has said.
And by that logic, Marcella should come running. But alright. I'll in that
You lose the ability to speak in Infernal for the next 3 rounds as well, because you've lost like all of your connection to Asmodeus for the next 3 rounds is gone. So you're basically just a dude with a mace.
So does he
Cool.
speak anything at this point?
I mean, he speaks common.
Okay.
He just like that's part of his current duress. He has to speak in Infernal, but since he's no longer treated as an oracle for 3 rounds.
Okay.
well,
Would you
alright.
like to do anything else, Sarah?
I think I've done quite enough.
Then we're sending it over to Jeff. Rivariel looks really confused as to what all is going on. He takes his swords away from your neck and just like... Before he was looking at you guys like one mangy stray dog. Now he's looking at you like you're a mangy stray dog whose alignment is switching back and forth and is speaking different languages back and forth, and looks like there's something going on in his head. A mixture of like you are dirt and what the hell is going on back and forth.
Mangy stray dog with an umbrella coat.
Yeah, pretty much.
Since my nat 1 became a nat 1, do I get my hero back?
Yeah, no, you have spent it.
Okay, fine.
What you doing, Joe?
Doesn't
I'm gonna
matter.
go back over here because I realize we have friends over here. I'm not going to say anything to anyone. I'm just going to go back.
Okay.
And I'm going to, when I get back, I'm going to ask Mercutio and these two over here, these doodly dudes, what exactly they are doing. Explain to them the situation. Tell them that there are the guards haven't like come back for us, like everything is like eerily quiet outside of here. And of course, if they need any help.
Augurs is still like, he probably isn't standing exactly where you see him. We'll move him like here. Whoop, that is the reveal tool. We will move him here. He continues to just like move around the room, sniffing the air, sniffing the ground. You say what you say, and he says that just, I need to find my friend. She's hungry. If something happens and she gets out, a lot of innocent people could die. You say what you say about the guards regrouping, and the woman in the veil, she goes down. Lucia had told you there's stairs there. She, you see her draw her longbow, and like in perfect, like she could hold it there forever, just like pies around the corner, and just, you imagine, is standing at the top of the stairs.
Where is this?
She, you can't see her because she's gone out of your line of sight, and it's a war. Yeah,
Oh,
that
there.
way.
Okay, yeah.
You just know, like, from the end of the last session and what Lucia had told you, that there are stairs going down there.
Okay. Well, there are 3 possibilities that his friend could be at. Well, there's more, actually, but 3 that I know of. Where does he think his friend is?
He tells you, to cage something as big as she is, they would need cells bigger than what we were in. They would need, and he begins to, like, with his arms, he spreads them out really wide. He looks at you and he says, like, he basically starts just spitting out the statistics, not the character sheet, but like how big his friend is, how long she is, her diet. She is not here, but she had to come through here at some point. I can smell her, I can feel her, but it is faint.
Okay. Let's do knowledge nature as to what he is describing.
Okay. You know, it's not far from the lands of the Lenorm Kings, where people breed and raise megafauna for everything from like domestic life to like beasts of war. It sounds like he's describing something like that.
Okay. So,
based on its diet, and he goes on to tell you that like when she gets to full grown, and she is now, her kind in the wild will hunt giants, young dragons, pretty much whatever they can get their hands on.
Okay, so, and this creature is probably too big to fit through these hallways?
Yeah, you, based on what he's saying and your knowledge check, you think size category huge at least.
Okay, so I'm going to tell him, Mercutio, and is listening, that most likely she is out this way, out where everyone else is gone, because there's room to have been able to store such a large creature, from what I can tell. 'Cause
Mercutio nods.
These hallways aren't going to be able to do anything for her.
Yeah, no, you're having a hard time getting through there, and this thing's bigger than you are.
And that's all.
Okay, then we go to Donald.
Okay, so for my turn, I'm going to move up to the prison cell area here, cast the spell Mage Armor on me, and check the cells around me.
Okay, sure. Sounds like a perception check to me.
Yep. So 20.
Okay, so the room that's like immediately to your right, that yellow line there, that's the room where everybody's gear that has been captured is. Your stuff you assume was there, everybody else's, and it's still full, like to the brim, full of a bunch of items, both mundane and magical. You don't hear anything coming from the cells around you except for that alarm. There is a passage, like if you were to go north and then go right, you see the stairs there and you can see Pogue. Other than that, you don't get a whole lot of much.
Okay.
Actually, wait, yeah, you would. Again, my roll 20 foo is weak.
Okay,
right
so
here, there is a statue. It appears to be like a Kadir. Surrender his holy symbols on his shield, on like where the tip of his spear becomes like the haft. It's that ankh connects the two pieces. It's on his scale mail, everything.
Okay, so I ask Poe, in the armory, did you find any other useful items we could use?
We didn't have time, but if you find some cool magic shit, get us some.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, there is a
So
lot of stuff in there.
So which door?
To your right.
Immediately to your right.
Okay, I have a look in there to see what gear is in there. So
Okay, sounds like another perception check, and we'll drag you in there.
okay, 22.
22. Okay, pretty much. And don't go crazy with this now, but like almost whatever it is you want to find, you could find it there. Weapons of all kinds, armor of all kinds, spell books, holy symbols on holy symbols. What stands out to you though?
Okay.
In the back, there's a backpack leaning unobtrusively against the wall, and it's covered in little tiny vials. Basically, like all the colors of the rainbow, with potions and stuff.
Okay, so I'm thinking for time. Probably the spell tomes would probably be useful to.
I did say spellbook to the wizard, didn't I?
Yes.
You did.
Yeah, we if we capture wizards, then giving them those tomes will be a asset. If not, hold on to it and then give it to those wizards.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so
Get something halfling size for your friend Pogue.
do I see any item size that would fit him or the other party members?
You see a lot of daggers, short swords.
Okay.
In a couple cases, there's scimitars that are like, it's kind of like a little baby, my first scimitar, that kind of thing. You get the feeling that Pogue is not the only small person. There's also like a little like tiny lances and bows and crossbows and things like that.
Okay, so I will take the appropriate size weapon for Paul and
Sure.
and a enchanted weapon for Papa as well. Then I will take the tomes into my possession. They may
there are like you would encumber the.
Okay, so how much does it weigh, those items?
All the tomes are probably like however much yours weighs. I have no idea. I'm just saying, like, if you were to take everything in this room, you couldn't because there is so much.
Like pick 3 books.
Okay, so
yeah, pretty much.
I could take 3 tomes and 2 weapons and be in my medium load weights still.
Okay, sure. You do so.
Okay,
what kind of weapons are you taking?
Let's see. Poe uses daggers, right?
I could use. I'm using short swords, but I could use a light offhanded weapon.
And you would see like there's definitely a dagger.
Okay,
sized for.
Okay, so I take the appropriate size dagger and matching sword for him, and then would be a mace like weapon for Papa. So that, and then I am my turn. So
okay, make a perception check, everybody.
Everyone.
And some dental floss for
all 4 of you. Okay, so everybody who isn't Joe basically hears the sound of stone grinding on stone. And Lucia would be the one who sees this first. Pogue probably, Pogue definitely sees it. That statue I described comes to life. Oh. And I put way too many minis in here and I really need to work. It looks like how I described, but as far as stats go, it is a gargoyle and it attacks Lucia. Let me dig its stats out. I was so prepared. It enters the room and like its mouths in Kellish like prayers to the Dawnflower as it lowers its spear and thrusts it at you. And each way. What do I add? I add that much. Does that hit you?
Yes.
Okay. So what do I do that much damage? Actually, we're going to do this much damage because it is wielding a spear. So I just want to add all its natural attacks. Much damage.
Okay. I scream in pain. Gargoyle! I would assume my character would know this, at least from studying on creatures.
Sounds like a knowledge check to me.
Stone bad guy.
Let's see. Yeah, it would be Arcana, right, for magical creatures.
Arcana is certainly, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember all the monster classifications. 20, so probably...
20. Yeah, you are sure this is a gargoyle. It's like, it doesn't have a bite. It doesn't have its horns. It doesn't have claws. It's just like, it has been made to resemble a Kellish spear and shield. But other than that, yeah, this thing is not a golem. It is alive. It could probably talk if it wants to, but it looks like there's something going on with it, so it can't.
Okay, cool. So
it is on Pogue. Pogue, you see this.
You mean she doesn't get a chance to fight back?
She is not, because it appeared like the reason we're on initiative is because it is going on my initiative, which is after Donald before you.
So I'm just picturing. So I am at the door entrance area looking through stuff, and this gargoyle is right in front of me. So there's So the distance, it is as accurate on the map.
Yeah, it is 5 feet away from you.
Okay. Cool.
In that square where it's at.
Cool.
All right.
What do, Van?
Pogue is gonna come running after. I assume I can get a sneak attack off on it, yeah?
Yeah, he's flanked, if you were to get right there.
4, 5, and I can pull my sword out as I'm running, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so 26.
That does indeed hit, and you would get your sneak attack damage as well.
4, so 13.
Okay. Understood.
And that's pretty much what I got right there, I think.
Okay, fair enough. And then it goes to...
I'm yelling back at them. Need a little help.
All right, Sarah, you're on. You hear all that.
I must go and help my friends. I'm nice.
For another couple rounds, anyway.
All right.
Nice, said the Cheliax Asmodean follower.
Yeah, nice. I will attack the golem.
That does hit. You would normally lose your fire damage, but I gave that to you in backstory and stuff. You do retain that.
Hooray!
All right. Are you guys attacking with magic weapons? You're both attacking with weapons, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Alrighty, it definitely, like, you imagine... Well, let me make sure this thing doesn't have some kind of resistance to fire that I am unaware. Yeah, okay, it doesn't. Like, you hit a stone statue and fire bursts from your morning star, and you get the feeling, like, that wouldn't hurt it, but it's a gargoyle, and so, like, its skin singes with the flames, and it opens its mouth to cry out in pain, but no sound escapes. We are probably going to Joe, if you're done.
I moved and attacked, so that's it.
All I can do is move here, since I only have a 20-foot move speed. So that's literally all I'm doing.
Rough. Okay. All right, Donald.
So how injured is the gargoyle?
It's taken a couple of hits. It looks like it could keep going.
Okay, so I'm going to take a 5-foot step back. And then
Okay, there's enough room in the room to do so.
Okay, so I will use magic missile from one of my scrolls.
Okay.
It's a pretty good thing that magic missiles, for the most part, level up with you for damage.
Yeah.
So 5 damage from magic missile, and I believe it is force magical damage if that is applicable for DR.
It is not, but like you rolled high enough. Your knowledge check to identify it as DR10 over magic, so you guys are all fine. Is that all, Donald?
Yes.
All right, so this thing is going to turn around and, well, it's going to 5-foot step itself. It's going to 5-foot step up here and out of Donald's line of sight. Then we're going to attack Emeritus. We'll take, I think I have to hit for this to work. Yeah, I do. So roll. Does a 23 hit you, Sarah?
Yep.
So we do some damage. Its spear like grazes across your section as it continues on over to Pogue. You take 7 damage, and then does that number hit Pogue?
Nope.
So he probably doesn't get the height quite right, and it like grazes your hat. I've got stuff I can do. Rivariel is going to move here. He eyes up the situation. He looks at, how badly is Papa Emeritus hurt after I hit you?
He probably took away between a fourth and a third of his health, so he looks kind of hurt, I guess.
Okay, fair enough. So he sees you like the gash across your chest and your torn up robes, and he definitely heard Lucia scream, and he just kind of like, he says nothing but continues to watch you guys. Hamid is going to move up there too. He looks absolutely sick. He draws it, but then he like at the last second as he's charging up, he stops and he looks really conflicted about whether or not he should attack this thing. Everybody hears you. So Augurs comes running up. Mercutio behind him. The woman in the veil does not appear. And then it's on Pogue is next.
Okay. So I want to do a feint.
That's a bluff check opposed by his sense motive, I believe.
So,
It might be opposed by CMD. That's weird, though. You imagine it's his sense motive. I'm calling it a sense motive.
all right. 21.
Okay, so I
have a
just...
shiny sword.
Shiny sword.
Whatever it's called. Glittering. Or...
So, you get it. You got it.
All right. So then I get to, because I have the feat for it, then I get to attack him.
Right, and he's denied his dex and stuff.
Yeah. All right. So 20.
Yeah, you got him. Your sword sinks into like his thigh for another 7 damage.
Yep.
He does not like that. He continues like he would be gasping out in pain right now, but it's like something has silenced him.
I look at the general and I'm like, a friend of yours. Apparently, he's never seen a halfling dance.
He stutters a whole bunch. He's like, he's not sure why in his presence one of the guardian statues would animate. Just I do not. And he just like back into Kellish, praying to the Dawnflower for his salvation and all this other stuff. Like he doesn't seem to really care about anybody but safety, right?
All right, and I ask the elf and elvish. So are you here to watch, or
do you need help, Half-Man? He like as you're talking, he immediately cuts you off. If you can't handle one gargoyle on your own, how do you expect to get out of here in one piece?
All right, I just turn my back on him and whatever.
Okay. If that is all, it goes to Sarah next.
All right, that gargoyle is still kicking?
Yep, specifically at you.
Oh. All right, let's swing at it. I don't think that hits, though.
Yeah, no, 11 doesn't get there.
Oh, wait, add 6 to that. Sorry.
Yeah, in that case, you do connect.
I don't know why I didn't think I added to my roll. Oh, well.
Hey, if players want to nerf themselves, fine with So he takes that much. Okay, yeah, you hit him. He continues to singe. He's probably bleeding too, which looks really weird coming out of a statue. But yeah, he's not happy.
All right.
It goes to Joe if that's all.
Yep, that's my attack action.
Where'd I go again?
You keep leaving us. Come back, Joe. Come play with your friends.
I'm not hitting anything that would delete it.
It just deletes you out of nowhere.
Yeah, the decimal on my numpad. Not
I guess that
hitting anything
deletes
else.
the decimal.
Yeah, that's all I'm hitting. I think it's
Weird.
just
I mean, that's if you've got numlock off, that's delete.
no numlock is on.
Oh, weird. Well, let me give you back control of yourself. And it is on you.
Yeah, really all I can do is move here. I guess I'll look at Rivario and Rivario, and Mr. Hamid and just kind of snort loudly at them. As they're
Hamid is
blocking-
terrified of it and becomes terrified of you. And Rivariel repeats the same thing he said to Pogue at you as you pass him. Just, if you can't handle this, how are you going to handle their army?
Okay, I mean, if he doesn't want to act like a friend, I can just put him in the ground. Oh yeah, I'll just look at it and say yeah, well maybe don't stand in my way. I'm gonna intimidate him. It's 10, the
Okay.
number of the day.
Number of the day is 10. He appears unfazed.
Okay, so he doesn't get the message. I'm just gonna stand
Yeah.
there and just go.
I mean, you can move through
I
him.
did my
If
stand
it's a
action.
matter
I'm
of-
just gonna stand there then.
You can move.
You don't have any bonuses to intimidation?
No,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
an alchemist. I don't get.
Oh, okay.
I'm just. I've already done a standard action and a move action.
Then-
Okay. Then it goes to Donald.
So when I use the magic missile, do I notice it actually did any damage to the structure of it?
Yeah, you hit and you do damage for sure.
Okay, I'm going to look out and then do another magic missile attack.
Okay, sure.
With the carnivore I got for the gargoyle, do I know anything else? Any specific structural weaknesses I could use?
He doesn't have any particular weaknesses. You know, like a gargoyle, usually you're thinking like it has horns, it has teeth, it has claws, stuff like that. And it also can definitely speak. So you get the feeling like this is a living creature and you're not quite sure what's going on with it.
Okay, so 5 damage. It looked like as Medeas, it is not pleased with me getting the same damage rolls again.
Hey, it's still damage.
Yeah, true.
Is that all?
Let's see. So, can I toss a one of the enchanted daggers to Paul? With the
That would
movement?
probably be some kind of standard action.
Okay. Yes. Then
And
I
I
don't.
Yeah, don't do that. And I don't have hands free right now anyway, so.
Okay. I end my turn.
All right, so Hamid is going to 5-foot step forward and he holds out his hands, and in Kelish, he commands the statue to stop. And like as Enderling appears and is brave, it kind of emboldens him a little bit. He steps forward, his chest is puffed out, and he looks a little more like in command and in control than he has been. He yells at the thing to stop, and it turns to face him. It doesn't attack or anything like that, but it just looks at him and then turns back. Hamid looks dumbstruck. And it's around this time. We're just rolling to see if we don't nat 1. Which is still glowing kind of like greenish. It definitely connects for that much.
What can
That might be enough damage to just kill him.
Is that our orc friend?
Yeah. It doesn't quite kill him. Actually, it might kill him. It doesn't quite kill him. but we would have another attack. We're not moving. So, yeah.
What's the orc hitting him with?
Augur's, like, he pulls back a bow and he fires.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And it's enough to, like, the first shot catches him in the shoulder and the second one hits him in the neck. He collapses in a heap. Hamid kind of, like, he doesn't necessarily, like, rush to the dying creature's aid, but he moves up to him, and as he begins to bleed out, Hamid draws his scimitar and just, like, presses it down into his neck and cuts his throat. Almost kind of like, you guys get the feeling he's given the thing a merciful death. He still looks really confused, really just dumbstruck and dumbfounded. Rivariel's going to head up here. And Mercutio will catch up. And then it goes to Rogue.
So I look at the guys with the big noses and I say, can you smell where the animals are?
Augurs cannot. He can get, like, he tells you again, just, there is a faint trail everywhere. They are somewhere around here. He continues just, like, sniffing the air.
Okay, well, it seems like... Huh.
Everybody can hear Rivariel say something, like he's kind of talking under his breath in Elven, but he's not, like, he's like stage whispering. He's in Elven, he's stage whispering.
Yeah, I speak Elven. What's he saying?
So in Elven, he's just kind of, just, by Calistria. He sounds a little, like, a little sarcastic, a little pressed, a little amused, over and over, like, overlaid there.
By Calistria?
Uh-huh.
Like, wait a minute. What do you mean by Calistria?
He does not respond.
All right. Is my turn? Or are there other things?
Yeah, it is on you. I'm sorry.
By cholesterol, thanks.
High cholesterol.
I can see where this is going.
Where is this? What do I see down this way?
Make a perception check.
It's not doing what I want it to do. All right. 25.
There's probably a much easier way to reveal things the way I'm going through this. So you see everything that's on the board is on the board. In the middle of the room, there's a pool of blood, and there's a sacrificial altar, and the place is covered with Kadiran soldiers that appear to have all of, like, committed ritual suicide and bled themselves into a hole in the floor.
Whoa.
Yeah. Rivariel's looking down on it, like, a little bit perplexed, a little bit confused, a little bit surprised. I wouldn't necessarily say, like, happy, but it's probably, like, as close to happy as he gets. There is a door right here. I should not use black because black is hard to see.
Right here?
How do I change color? Yeah.
I find if I need to make windows
Yellow.
doors on a map, using bright colors help, especially.
Yeah, yellow seems to be the color of the day. You also see, well, you would see yourself, Jesus, Tommy. You see all of that. You see, it looks like there's a couple of passageways breaking off.
Okay. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I see anything down?
Make a will save.
Uh-oh. Where are my...
I said that really, really, like, oh, what's the word I want to use? Make a will save. Really dramatically. 17, you, nothing happens.
Okay,
It's still on you, though.
that's good. All All right, so I get a bad feeling about this, and so after I shout back to Lucia and say, "Hey, I think there's enough fresh blood in here to make even you happy."
Yeah, all the blood money.
Yeah, it's all the blood. I start sort of just kind of crossing my fingers and doing little, like, when a baseball player steps up to the bat and they do their little like ritual good luck things.
Sure, yeah.
So he's kind of doing that, like, tightening his grip on his sword and clenching, and he's
Spinning it, pointing it at the crowd, putting it back.
Right, exactly. He's a called shot. He's getting himself psyched up with the archaeologist's luck.
Okay, sure. Then we go to Sarah. You're on. You can't see what I've described, but there's nothing stopping you from hearing both Rivariel and Pogue.
All right. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go over to the closet and do a perception check to see if there's any armor in here that's better than my own.
You notice I have a mace for you. So would the weapon be the mace I picked up? Would it be a heavy mace or a light mace?
In either case, it's non-magical, so Sarah's is better.
Okay.
Because she has a +1 weapon.
And it is a heavy mace. I will still perception. Worst thing that GM can say is no.
A natural 9. There's a lot of stuff in there, and you get the feeling you could dig around in there and find a lot of stuff. But, like, that time isn't necessarily on your side. And it's kind of like if you imagine the end of Dead Money, you get all that gold, you still have to would have to lug it out of here somehow. And that, like, the guards are forming up for a massed attack. You guys don't have all the time in the world.
Well, all right. With that 9, what's the most valuable thing I can see with a quick, like, glance?
With a quick glance, you just see, like, pretty much anything you could want, but nothing super magical or really better than what you have.
All right.
Then you don't see anything, but it is revealed because I am terrible.
Okay.
All right, and Rivariel's going down this. Oh, there's Pogue, I see. Okay.
Yeah, you heard him just like, do you speak Elven?
No.
Then you heard him stage whisper in Elven, essentially. Like, he's whispering it, but he doesn't really seem to care if anyone hears him.
You guys heard me say, "What do you mean by Calistria?" in common. So.
And he doesn't reply to you.
Right. No, I meant so they.
But you would know, like, as a passing, like, religion thing. You, the player, might not know, but, like, Pogue would know that Calistria is to elves as, like, Torog is to dwarves. She's, like, their patron deity.
Oh, okay. Well, but she's also his deity too. So.
Correct.
Okie dokie. I will go catch up with my friends because I'm still good.
Okay, make a will save, Sarah.
All right.
You see everything
wait,
exactly.
Wait, hold on.
Wait for what?
All right, you see everything?
She sees everything as I described it. There are Qadiran soldiers, like, massed around that pool of blood and massed around that altar. And it appears as if they'd all committed ritual suicide. Blood runs down that altar into the pool. Their blood is, like, running endlessly into this pool of blood. They're not enchanted, Donald. Is there anything else you want to do, Sarah?
Oh my goodness. Seems like quite a predicament.
In one more round, we roll to how long you are lawful evil.
All right, I sound like an Arthur character.
Oh my goodness, that's so much blood. I don't know what episode of Arthur that is, but maybe I should have watched that show a little more. Are you done though?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I made a roll, so I'm good.
All right, Joe, you're up.
Okay. I am going to. Okay, you guys are checking out the room full of bodies. I know that the room is full of bodies. Did someone, like, exclaim that?
Pogue probably did, yeah, I imagine.
Okay.
You definitely heard him say something about there's enough blood for all the blood money you ever wanted.
Yeah.
I
No one
think
needs all in that room. I did not mean to do that.
You are there.
I am there. You're right. I need. Okay, I'm gonna move over this way, and I'm gonna tell Augurs we should find his friend.
He nods at you.
And then that is all.
Okay, actually, hang on. You move where you move, but I need to. There are things. I gotta measure something. I never use the measuring tool. It's weird. Okay, yeah, make a will save, Joe.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, which one is it? Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you people start talking about blood, and I didn't realize you were in scent range, so I caught it last second. You can smell blood, but it kind of smells a little off, like something isn't quite right there.
Okay.
Like you can pick up that much blood, so like that huge coppery smell would assail you, but it kind of like wiggles in your nose. I guess best way to word it, like it's there, but it's not there, but it's there, but it's not there, over and over again.
Okay. I guess Enderling will sneeze then.
Bless you.
But that really doesn't change much of what I'm going to do, though. So.
Okay. So then we go to Donald.
Okay, so I'm going to drop the non-enchanted weapon and join up with the rest of the group.
Okay, sure.
And
Make a will save. Yep.
15?
You see everything exactly as I have described previously. Lots of Kadirians have committed ritual suicide.
Okay, this actually interests Lucia. So she's going to examine what type of ritual is this. So for background knowledge, if I get high enough for a religion check or arcana, which is appropriate. Just
both are fine.
Okay, so knowledge arcana would be best. The funny thing is, one of the deities I chose is a deity worshipped by vampires and undead. Yeah,
it is Zura, right?
No, Loran.
Okay.
It's a Inferno Duke.
Okay.
So 20 plus whatever miscellaneous modifier.
For having that. It's, you get the feeling it could be something along those lines, but there's no really there's not a whole lot of dots to connect here. If this is some kind of a religious suicide, it looks a little less like everyone was willing to drink the Kool-Aid, like Van said, that sort of thing.
This is so.
It's definitely really out of character. Followers of Seren, right? Though, completely not something they would be into.
Oh, this is not a good sign. Seren Ray followers committing themselves to a suicide act for some cause. To the best of my knowledge, this is not their way to do this.
Yeah, well,
Rivariel chuckles.
I don't know very many type people that say, "Hey, kill you." Oh,
There was and dying for no purpose. And
exactly.
this is a purpose of some kind that is unknown to me.
Mm.
We need to free the prisoner. We should explore the rest of the complex.
Yeah, like I
quickly.
had said, that yellow line is a door.
Okay, so I explored, checked that out at the action, and that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Rivariel, chuckling to himself, goes around this way. Augurs and Mercutio will follow Enderling.
What way is that? We cannot see.
He went, oh, that's Lucia. No! I should have priority as the GM to decide token stacking. He goes down here.
Okay.
You hear the sound of a door being forced open, and does anyone speak gnome?
Nope.
Donald?
Nope.
Gnope.
Yes, I actually do.
You hear just like a little female gnomish voice like get really standoffish at him, and then just like brush past him. And oh yeah, sure, she will roll her will save. She adds probably about this.
Damn, she sees all.
Okay, yeah, congrats. She turns the corner and she gets like super like astonished and aghast that this scene is before her, and then she like shakes her head. It's kind of ironic that a gnome got this. She shakes her head a little bit and she moves forward and she begins like touching the bodies. She doesn't react to you guys because she hasn't seen you guys, because she's more concerned with this, but you see like she has blue hair, and she's, for a gnome, she's pretty muscular. She's about as tall as Pogue is. She's got she doesn't have any gear on her, but her like crappy tattered shirt has it's blue and black and got like gold trim, and the Eagle Knight symbol, I think it's just a feather, I'm not sure off the top of my head, but like the Eagle Knight symbol is emblazoned across it and it's on the shoulders back. It does not take the smartest person in the world to realize that this gnome is a former Eagle Knight and probably on your side already. Pogue, you're on.
Okay.
Well, actually, Pogue, you're not on. Hamid would join you, and he sees an illusion. Hello.
Hello. Is it my turn now?
Yeah, it's on you, sorry.
Okay, you're like, no, not yet. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I need to move the guy. I forgot I have a lot of NPCs.
A lot of NPCs somewhere.
I do.
Okay.
And like the gnome looks up at you. She sees you, and she continues to like poke at the bodies and just like, can you not tell this is an illusion? Pokes at it, like moves, like puts her feet in the blood and like kicks it around a little bit.
So can I try a will save again?
Yeah.
About 25.
Yeah, everything starts to like shimmer. You are completely sure this is an illusion.
So do I see what's...
You see like what is actually there is just floor.
Oh, okay.
You see like there's a vague bluish outline where the bodies are and where the blood is, altar and say.
Okay.
But you can see like the gnome's hand is moving through a body.
Okay. I turn around and tell him, it's an illusion. There's nothing here. Why would somebody put up an illusion?
Rivariel barks a laugh from like farther. You finally got it. Starts clapping really slowly.
All right. Let me come over.
You can tell that door is not.
Is what?
That door, that yellow line, that's real.
Okay. Describe it. Is it like, can you see through it or anything, or is it?
You move up to it and make a, well, you wouldn't need a perception check. There is no visible means door. It looks like just a solid like wooden wall, essentially. Like the stone just turns into wood for a little bit and then is stone again.
Hmm.
Make another will save, actually. You get the feeling that this might be...
Hmm.
Okay, so you, everything is a little weird around here. You've seen illusions all over the place, but, like, you can't convince yourself that this door isn't just, like, a piece of wood that has been put in front of you. You reach out your hand to touch it, and you feel wood, all of this.
Okay. So given that there's no way to open it, could I still try a disabled device, or what is it?
Yeah, you sure could, yeah.
Okay.
The DC would be weird, but there's nothing saying you can...
Oh,
You don't see any means of opening the door.
All right.
You imagine you could probably maybe figure it out eventually,
Okay.
but there's a lot of, like, you don't know where to start, I guess.
So I ask the gnome, I say, is this an illusion to you? It feels real.
She will... Did she? Oh, she did. She can cut the initiative, why not? I'm the GM, I have that power. She moves up to... Not there. She moves up to the door, and she puts her hand out to it, and she promptly explodes. Pogue is covered in blood and guts and gore. And everybody make a will save who can see that.
I probably failed it.
Just waiting on Van, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, she's waiting on me because I don't know where.
Yeah, it's wonky. I hate
Oh,
it.
fuck me.
Okay. Would you like to use your hero point?
Yeah, I want to use my hero point.
I want to
Okay.
use. I'm going to use my hero point. This is something bad.
Okay, sure.
Oh, jeez, at least it's not a critical fail.
Okay, so 20. Yeah.
Donald sees the gnome standing where the gnome was standing. Like, you see the, like, blue lines of illusion, like illusory blood and bones and gore in her, like, clothes and stuff explode off her and, like, land in a heap amongst the, like, now you can tell illusory blood and bodies. But as far as everyone else is concerned, that person just spontaneously exploded in front of you.
Okay, I tell the party, this is just another illusion.
Lucia can see the gnome, like, waving in Pogue's face and just, I'm here! But Pogue hears nothing.
Poe, your new ally, she is alive still.
Let's jump to Sarah. Sarah, you are roll a d4.
Is Sarah talking too? Or is she just miming?
She's not. So for the next 4 rounds, you are lawful evil and your spells back, and you are the character you were at session 1.
Hooray! Alright.
The place is covered in blood. The gnome touched a door and exploded. I think you're the only person who hasn't beat the first illusion. So as far as you're concerned, there's blood and bodies everywhere, and people are just sloshing through the blood and kicking bodies around.
Nice. Alright. Okay. This is all fine. Everything's fine. Okay. So, did you say there was a door here?
Yes, and it's like I had said, it's like the stone wall stops and becomes a wooden wall, and then is stone wall again.
Alright, and this, our gnome friend touched it and exploded.
Into a shower of blood and gore, yeah.
Nice. I probably shouldn't touch it. I don't know what it does.
Make some kind of check.
That's a good idea. I know all.
You do know all. You see the gnome. Everything in front of Papa. And, well, actually, Sarah, you can get extra information with the natural 20, or we can end the, like, bouncing of a line. Your call. And I don't mean that in the sense of, like, plot devices. I mean that in the sense of, like, the D6s being thrown around. Up to you.
Give me extra information.
Okay, so you are still lawful evil. The door shimmers. You can tell that, like, you are looking at illusion upon illusion upon illusion. Nobody sees this but Papa. I'll pop it open. I had to move his token because you guys probably saw the corner of it. Sarah, inside the room, you see there's like 5 or 6 Kadirian soldiers that you are sure are real, and they're like, there is illusory gold like up to their ankles, and they're all like trying to pick it up, but as they pick it up, it kind of like giggles and dances away, and just like they're chasing around it. Standing behind them is an elf, but his skin is a little darker and his hair is like kind of like a chestnut brown. He's wearing a leather coat over chainmail, and he's got a sword like his people carry on his back. He looks up at you and like he sees you looking at him for a little too long, and he blinks, and in your head you hear just, "Are you real?" And you can your shoulder pushes back a little bit like someone is mage handing your.
All right, I will nod slowly, kind of like, yeah, real.
He continues to like, he seems to not believe you. He looks really perplexed. He sees everybody else, and well, he'll do the same thing. He'll prod at, starting with Pogue. Pogue can feel someone like mage hand his shoulder. So can the gnome, but no one sees it. Lucia can feel someone push her around too, and everyone just like, I don't understand. How did you see through? You cannot be real. No. And he like reaches back to his sword. Does anyone other than Joe speak Scald?
No.
Yes,
I
no?
do not.
Nope.
Don't.
That's
Then you guys hear something really aggressive. Still Sarah's initiative. This guy looks like he's about moments away from at you.
All right, I will diplomacy check. That went so well last time. I will diplomacy check and be like, "All right, hey, I'm real. You don't need no need to act irrationally. Let's all just chill." Sound like I'm still working at the daycare right now.
Definitely not the most lawful evil thing I've heard a lot. Let's all chill. It's okay. But do roll.
Well, I don't want to get sword to my face. I don't that's like inherently want to kill this guy for no reason.
That's totally
Because
lawful evil thing to
Plus, I'm
say.
kind of nice-ish sometimes. Thank you.
The man like draws his hand away from his sword and he steps out. He snaps his finger and everybody sees the gnome reappear. Except for the guards who are still just like chasing after these gold coins that are just like giggling and dancing around his cell. He waves his hand again. You guys are sure it's an illusion, but it looks like where his door to his cell was, just like cask of Amontillato's off. There's just like a stone wall there. He looks at you guys. That should keep them busy for a long, long time. Are you with the rebellion? This being asked at Emeritus and everybody in that room. The gnome nods, but like eyes him warily.
I hold up my hand in front of his face, and can you see this?
He pokes at it with his hand, and he smells at it and gets really close. Fascinating.
With the symbol on it.
Right, yeah, he sees the symbol appear, and he's like, he kind of looks like a little kid who's never seen anything before, but now we're using magic, so it's like, you guys get the feeling something's a little wrong with his head.
I want to examine him. So he probably used mage hand. So could I guess what type of magic caster he is? Just
Sounds like a knowledge check to me.
Let's see. Knowledge Arcana.
Yeah, that would do it.
It is a shame that I don't have detect magic prepared.
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, so 14 Arcana. So figure.
So he's definitely some kind of arcane. but it feels a little like not quite correct. Like there's something else going on there. He's carrying a weapon and he's wearing armor. So you imagine like underneath his clothes and stuff, he's
So
you think something along the lines of like I'm trying to say it without just he's a this. Yeah, fuck it, you guys.
So
get it. He's a
He's a
magus.
bard.
He's a magus.
Okay.
that what I saw, just putting wearing armor, have a
But
weapon,
let's
and
keep
use-
forgetting we're on initiative. Sarah, do you have anything else?
I will go around this way, so I'm stick with the group. It's like a field trip, and we're with the buddy system.
I see. So if that's all, we'll go to Joe.
Except for with the bloody system.
Yeah, I'm going to continue off this way. That's where I
Okay.
think
Down there.
his friend is. Yeah. Now make a perception check.
Yeah, if you would.
So I have dark vision and scent.
I don't see it if you rolled it.
I am about to.
Okay.
It's not a 10.
This room is covered with blood, bits of weapons, bits of armor. It looks like everything in the room's kind of been pushed back to make a makeshift arena. And it looks like you get the feeling that like prisoners were fighting prisoners for the sport of the guards, or were fighting prisoners to be bored, that kind of thing. You definitely see bits of animal hair as well. And bits of like I don't want to call it chitin because I'm sure that's wrong when we're talking about an armadillo, but like the leathery flesh that's like hard as like scales, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, just skin. Skin.
Just skin.
Just skin. You see bits of skin.
All over the place.
Okay. I guess, is there a piece, is there, some detritus nearby?
Yeah, for sure. And all over the place.
I'll pick it up and I'll, hold it up so Auguros can see it and ask him if it looks familiar.
He comes up and he sniffs it, and he just promptly, he's not like stereotypical movie, no! It's that kind of thing. He gets really angry really fast. NPCs can cut the initiative because I say so. He bounds down here and begins looking around, and he's combination of child who has lost their favorite pet and mother who has lost their child and is super pissed off about it, all rolled up into one. He is freaking out, kicking bodies over. He sees bits of claw and stuff. He doesn't say anything else. He continues to just shout in Orcish. Everybody can probably hear this because of how loud he's being. So as the only person, I think, who can speak Orcish being Lucia, Lucia just hears echoing down the walls of the place, just when I find them, I will rip them limb from limb and eat them myself. And landing on walls and stuff. I am correct in assuming only Lucia understands Orc, right?
Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, metagaming, I am, unless anyone else have it.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. Anything else, Joe?
Nope, that's all.
Then bottom of the initiative is Donald.
Okay, so I'm going to walk up to Papa Emeritus. I assume this is the altar, or this is the illusion.
It's part of the illusion. Yeah, you see an altar, you see blood, you see all that, but it's really well, no, he ended the illusion. It's not there anymore.
Okay, so can you reveal the cells?
Oh, yeah, I can. I don't think there's a whole lot there to reveal. Let me see where you are.
Except for 50 guards.
Except for all of these guards right now. Ha ha. You can see down here. You might see a little bit of token there. Oops.
Okay. Okay.
There's a door. You can hear somebody in a thick door accent just pounding on right there. I'll move him over here because you can't see him.
So did I get the name of the magic user or no?
You did not. He has not given his. He's
Okay.
still kind of looking you guys up and entirely convinced you're real. and the gnome is a little more like carrying herself like a warrior, just like
Okay.
looking around all the hallways and stuff.
I'm going to ask the magic username. What is your name?
He looks at you and he bows really formally, but when he does this, his eyes never leave yours. It's kind of like how I did Erendil in David's game back in the day. Like he's being not necessarily sarcastic formal, but he doesn't trust you either. And I am Callan of Built at your service.
I am Lucia. Of the Lacroix family. It's a pleasure to make your present. Don't worry. We are.
You say the name, and he kind of like he mulls it over a little bit, and he's still like he kind of looks like he's lost in an acid trip, for a little bit of a better way to say it. Like he's lucid, he can speak to you, but there's also like you can tell he's a little addled. You say your name, and he kind of like starts rolling his eyes a little bit, like he's like trying to think of something, and then he just like snaps to you and looks back at you.
I ask him, are you missing your tome?
He snaps his fingers, and at his side hangs a spellbook, and it kind of just appears out of nowhere, and he chuckles. Just, do you really think these guards could disarm me? Snaps his fingers again. There's spell components everywhere. You can tell his weapon and his arm heavily enchanted.
Okay.
I'm just here until I am not, if you understand me.
Okay, I'm just double checking. I found some tomes that may have belonged to other arcane users.
No, they did not take my tome.
That is
He begins
good.
to he picks it up, like he mage hands it off his inventory, and I don't know the exact word I want to use for like the pages fly before your face as he like mage hands fire from front to back. It is super full of a lot of powerful arcane magic, but you don't catch a whole lot of it. And there's also a lot of like, it feels like weird. Some of the spells that are in there, they shouldn't be. He like snaps his book back to him.
Okay, so what? So let's see. It would be knowledge, knowledge spellcraft to figure out what those
You could
spells
roll a knowledge
are.
arcana, yeah, that's sure.
Mm-hmm. So 18 arcana.
You didn't get a whole lot of a glimpse because they blew past you really fast, but it looked like a lot of like bard spells, I guess. I don't know a better way to word it. Metagaming,
Okay.
he has some bard spells, but because I was gonna say divine magic because they get cure spells, but bards are arcane casters, so just a little bit like that, like spells that shouldn't be in spell books because they don't need to be, because those who cast them can do it without preparing them.
Right.
But it looks like he needs to.
Okay, so my guess is, using my wizard knowledge, he probably he is capable to use other schools of magic as well. So somehow.
Matter of fact, as you say this, he looks you up and down and he sees you're like trying to mull him over. He reaches his hand out to you. Do you resist?
I'm going to sense him. What is he trying to do?
Okay, sure.
So, I had a Sultan trying to make a move on me, and I don't want to have something else worse happen to me.
That could be bad, yeah.
Yes, 21.
21. His hand begins to radiate with a white aura. It doesn't look like he's trying to hurt you. He's still, matter of fact, trying to figure out if you exist or not. But he looks like he can see you're wounded and he's trying to help you.
I don't fret.
Okay, then you are healed for that much.
Okay, cool. I
He
appreciate.
takes his hand back and he looks at you, he looks at everyone else, and just, so when do we leave? Exactly.
Soon.
My magic can keep me hidden here forever, but I have business.
Very soon we can leave. We just need to rescue the rest of the prisoners.
And you will help me?
Yes.
He begins to continue looking, he is still not entirely. You guys are real.
So when I say help him escape this place.
He nods.
Yes.
He has business. I'm using his voice for me. I have business in Avistan. I have business in the north. I need to get back now.
We will be out of this place soon enough. I show the appreciation how a noble would show their appreciation to someone else who helped them.
Okay, which is how?
So I guess it would be the more formal attire, how I would actually speak to him. And probably
Okay.
would use fancy words.
And would use fancy words. Got it. You do
Yes.
the talking good.
Yeah, so I talk to him and then move. So I signal for Papa to accompany me further down here. Don't know if this is an illusion or not, hearing a dwarf.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
You can see a little bit of him.
Wait,
I'll just put the token where it is. There's a dwarf pounding on the door. Just let me out of here!
Okay,
I hear
so
elf. I can't see elf. Let me out of this wretched prison. Just like as he's like almost in time with the horn, he's pounding on the door.
I ask our Magus friend if this is a illusion or he is real.
He shakes his head and smiles and like under his breath, a kind of another stage whisper, he says, just, if you were an illusion, say that. You must not be an illusion. I believe you. And then he nods his head. It's perfectly real.
Okay, so Papa, I'm going to open this door. If something happens, do what you must. And I'm going to open the door.
So as you do so, a dwarf bounds out. Just, where's my spear? Comes charging out, looks around, sees you, and just, what are you doing here? He gets really like aggressive.
To answer your first question, your weapon and the rest of your equipment, it is in the armory.
Without waiting to hear anything else, he pushes past you. Dwarves are kind of slow. He'll double move.
Okay, I move back to let him move. I don't want to be pushed by a dwarf.
Is that all?
Yes.
Okay, so now there's a lot of things going on because I have a lot of... We'll start over with Joe. Agruz begins bounding this way. 40, 50, 55. He has a little more move. You hear a splash. Mercutio looks really confused because he doesn't speak the language. He just kind of like runs over here to get out of the angry orc's way. Rivariel comes back in the room and just, I'm so glad you figured it out that we have an illusionist among us. And he bows, just, hail Calenren of Built. And like they do that, like as Van had said, like two people about to spar, they lock eyes. Calenren is sure that Rivariel is real and reaches back for his sword as Rivariel assumes a stance. The gnome and Hamid, they both step between them. Now that Hamid doesn't see blood everywhere, he'll move into the room and not be terrified. They look like, the two elves look like they're about to square off, and the gnome has no equipment, and Hamid only has his sword, but they look like they're going to try to get between them. The dwarf, I am the GM, I can do what I want. The dwarf bounds into the room. You guys can hear, like, armor and weapons and stuff being thrown around as he grabs his gear, and goes to Pogue.
Okay. Pogue is standing in the middle of them. All right, so just to recap, Dwarf came out of here.
Correct. Shouting for a spear and bounds past.
Bounds past everybody.
Yeah.
Was there something else down this way? Or can I not
see stuff? Yeah, hang on, I'm getting there. You guys can probably see all of that. Culminating in a dead end there.
Okay.
Well, no, you would see that connects back to there.
Okay. All right. So really nothing down there is what I'm getting.
Not a whole lot of much, just hallway.
Okay. So I look at the gnome.
Okay.
And say, do you need a weapon or something? She's
got her eyes on the elves, but you say something and she kind of just turns her hand towards you expectingly.
All right, I give her. I say this is a loner, and I
She
give
nods.
her my weapon that is because they're all crazy ass weapons. But it's basically it's an extendable spear.
Okay, sure. She
Um,
takes it. Is it something that's easy to extend?
Yeah, it's
Then
just
she takes it and like whatever activates it, she activates it to have a reach weapon and just puts herself in between the two.
right.
Got it.
So it's 1 by 10 our size,
Okay, sure.
and she can actually throw it 10 feet. It's balanced.
Sweet.
So
What does spring loaded do?
spring loaded means you can. It's either a reach weapon or you can use it shortened.
Okay. What kind of an action is it to change that? Do you know?
Just it's just part of it.
Okay, so it's probably like a standard action to like wind it back or to activate it. Because most of the classes that get something like that, it's a standard action for them to do so.
You know, I forget what it is in the.
I
I'd
imagine
have
it's
to
a
look it
standard.
up. Yeah, it probably. Well, yeah.
For the next hour, it's a standard action.
All
We'll
right,
figure it
I'm
out for
good with
next
that.
session.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Standard action. So I give that to her, but it also means that she can fight up close without
Without incurring the penalties and stuff.
right.
Okay.
So there's that. Okay. So I look at him and I say, gentlemen, if we're done here, I think we should find a way out. And I look at Rivario and I say, if you can't kill him by yourself, and then just strut out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, that provokes from a lot of people. I'm just kidding. No, you're fine. You strut out. Rivario, like, both of the elves kind of puff their chests up as you say these kind of things. None of them really move. Colin isn't entirely sure you're not an illusion. But they just continue to like stare each other down and like circle each other.
All right.
Is there anything else?
No, I'm gonna go see what's up. I noticed that our big friend.
You can definitely hear Ogru's screaming an orc, and like you hear a splash.
I don't suppose I can take a double move. Did I already?
Oh yeah, you totally can. That's
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'm closer at least.
okay, sure. If that is all, Sarah, you're on.
Yeah, that's it for me.
3 more rounds of lawful evil, I believe.
Fun. All right. I'm gonna move over here and see if I see anything else down this hallway worth my attention.
Okay. You don't see anything, but you hear like you can hear Ogru shouting an orc. You can hear in Elven those two are throwing insults back and forth. What else is going on? You can probably hear the dwarf throwing a bunch of stuff around the armory, trying to find his gear specifically. Other than that, just the sound of a horn.
So nothing down this hallway like that's gonna catch my attention.
No, nothing out there that's going to jump out and attack you now.
Fun. All right. All right. Suppose I'm following Pogue at this point then.
Okay. Is that also?
Yeah, I'll probably use a double move to catch up.
Then we go to Joe.
Rogue is done with haughty elves.
You're up, Joe. What do you do? I see you.
Yeah, I
Measured.
know. Yeah, I'm probably gonna move over here. 'Cause I don't know what Augurs is doing. Things are happening. I'm moving over here. double move.
Okay. Make a knowledge check. You can see everything that's going on.
A knowledge check. What kind of knowledge check?
Your choice.
My
We don't
choice.
really have personal history. It has to do, like, you see Colin Wren and you recognize him. History would work. Local would work. I don't know what you have. You probably just have, like, Arcana and Nature.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's untrained for you, but, like, this is kind of personal-ish. You know that is Colin Wren of Built. It wasn't too terribly long before you were teleported out of the lands of kings that he appeared on the scene. On the Isle of Egos where Built is, and in the realm of Ingmandir the Unruly, that particular Jarl, that particular Lenorm king, people of his race are downtrodden, and he's kind of like a folk hero. He has risen from having no parents, living in a terrible orphanage, to he has slain a Lenorm. You are looking at a Lenorm king, but he was quickly he tried to take over Igmandir's that island and his region, but he was quickly never heard from again. And you imagine this is why.
Then I'll call out to him. I'll be like, "Hail!"
He looks at you he keeps his sword is pointed at Rivariel as you, and his head cocks, and you can hear in Skull just, "By the Allfather." He pushes at you with Mage Hand. He pushes at your vestigial arm and your tusks and stuff. I guess I don't know what Mage Hand's reach is. I may be giving Mage Hand a lot of stuff, but oh well. He continues to be threatened, but he doesn't move.
Okay. Well, that's all for me.
Okay. What do I want to do? Everybody can. Well, you can't hear the sounds of Oscar swimming because he has gone away. Let's see what's going on. The dwarf emerges. He's wearing a chainmail that has Torag's holy symbol on it, a shield with Torag's holy symbol, spear. And he's got kind of the helm is kind of Greek-ish in the way it looks, with the way his the visor where you can see his eyes and stuff and the plumage. He comes up, he sees a halfling, an evil oracle, and a troll, and he just kind of, "I like my chances better back here." And he goes back into that room. 5, 10. Yeah, okay, I'm giving Mage Hand a lot. Oops. What else is going on? There's a lot going on. Rivariel and Colin Wren get close, and as they get there, Gnome and Hamid both they start pushing him back, and it's kind of like classic high school fight, I guess, except there's a lot of magic and swords involved, and people could get killed. But these two are standing in the way, and it goes to Pogue.
All right, so our orc friend went flying down this way, right?
You heard off in the distance him shouting an orc and a splash.
Right. So Anderling's coming from where he went. Is that right?
More or less.
So I turn around. "Hey, big guy, what happened to our friend?"
Enderling is too concerned with Colin Wren of Built to answer you.
No, it's my internet is screwing up.
Oh, boo.
And Van went all robot. I'll tell Pogue about just the basic gist of what's going on.
Essentially, you're looking at a king in exile.
Oh no, I'm talking about oh well, yeah, no, that, and also what's going on with Augurs.
Okay, so is he going to get his friend in the same place where Lucia's friend is?
I have no clue. Augurs isn't much of a talker. He's more of a sniffer and a screamer.
I see. That's how I like him too.
I am Augurs, sniffer and screamer.
I am Augru. All right, so I look at the dwarf. I'm like, ignore the rest of this.
He looks at you and says nothing.
Let's go find the rest of our friends.
Okay.
That's what I say to him. He says nothing to me. Do I need to make a?
The dwarf looks at you and says nothing. Like he's flabbergasted and defending himself, basically. Like his spear is lowered and his shield is up, and he's like phalanxed into the door, I guess, essentially.
So I show him my hand and I say, "Come on."
All right. He approaches you, and he's a little taller than you, and you get a really good diplomacy check. I didn't think we were letting halflings into the cult, and he like slams you on the back. He looks you up and down. Are you injured?
I am injured.
Then, okay. So then he's going to assume that everybody here is friends. So he's going to channel energy. This hits everyone who's not Donald for that much.
Holy crap.
Wait,
In
so-
Dwarven. He says a thing in Dwarven and you get positive energy like flow through you.
I speak Dwarvish too, by the way.
Okay, so just blessed in the name of Torah I go. And just like positive energy flows out from him.
All right.
Is that all, Van? Do you have anything else you want to do?
I haven't moved yet, so I'm going to move down this way. Are there any torches, by the way?
Not like in the room. No, everything's kind of like. Well, no, we've established there were torches here. There are definitely torches. It's
All right.
enough light for you guys to see by.
All right. Well, I'm gonna come down this way. I'm gonna grab a torch or something.
Yeah, you can easily find one.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, make a perception check.
Okay.
So you see everything that I had described. You see, it looks like this is like a makeshift gladiatorial arena.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people fighting people for sport, animals fighting animals for sport, guards fighting people and animals for sport. There's a lot of blood and broken weapons and like animal bits laying around.
Okay.
You can also hear like from the south, somebody is like, it's not really overpowering, but someone is like slamming on a door.
Like right here?
It's like way south of you.
Is it once I get down the stairs, you mean?
No, like back, like if the map was a map south, like down from Pogue, like down this way.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty faint. Like it sounds like the person slamming against the door is kind of weak, but you can hear something.
All right. Well, I'll stop there. So I've used up all my movement anyway, and
Okay.
But I'll pause, and since I don't see the orc down here, right?
You do not. You can probably see a lot of things have been disturbed. A lot of like bits and pieces are thrown into corners.
So I can see where he went, but not necessarily.
You can see where he went in that corner, yeah, but you don't know where he's gone. But you did hear a splash.
Okay. So I'll stop there then.
Okay, then we go to Sarah.
All right. All right. Pogue went off to find a torch. There was a splash. All right. What's Mercutio doing?
Standing in the hallway looking nervous.
All right, I'm lawfully evil, so I don't really care.
For another couple rounds anyway.
All right. I'll go back over here. What's everybody else doing?
Like I had described, Colin Wren and Rivariel are like about to cut each other to pieces, but the gnome and Hamid are holding them like I said, like a high school fight in the hallway, except there's swords and magic and stuff involved.
Okay, yeah. Trying to decide if I care or not. I've done enough caring for one day. Alright, I've seen enough. I'm gonna go back around.
Okay. I should probably be revealing these. There's definitely like there is wall and cells there.
Cells, like jail cells.
Yeah, but you guys have been in them.
Oh, okay.
Like I think right here. Oop, I'm still on the reveal tool. Oops, I muted myself. Right there is where Ennerling was.
Okay, so nothing like, there's no like, nothing's gonna pop out and scare us. Nothing's gonna, like, there's not gonna be anything interesting in there.
Right.
Well, they're still closed cells, though, right?
I believe the black lines. Yeah, those are still closed.
Okay.
But Sarah, you can also hear like coming from down this way. There's somebody like. It's faint to you, but it's like it's got to be strong enough for somebody to like be making the noise to carry that far, banging on a door.
I don't think I care. They can stay where they're at right for now.
Okay.
I don't really care. Alright.
You
I'll
need
just
their help to get out.
stick with Pogue. Stay close to Pogue because I know if I get cornered by guards, I'm not gonna last very long. So, try to stick with a group for my own selfish reasons. That will be all.
Then we go to Joe.
Okay. Well, actually, how far is that's 20 feet? Move 20 feet. Then I'm gonna make an intimidate check at Rivariel. Telling him that I'm tired of his crap, and that if he doesn't back off from Caloran, I'm gonna put him in the ground myself.
Okay. Everybody kind of like record scratches in your direction. I can. Everybody looks up at you, and Rivariel looks you up and he's. I'm sorry, I forgot that there was more than one Ulfin in this prison, and he gets the feeling that he's too outnumbered to keep going with what he's doing, and Colin Wren approaches you and in Scald, he reaches out to touch your vestigial arm. Do you resist?
No.
Okay, he feels you up and down, not weirdly, but enough to he is pretty convinced you're an illusion. And in Scald, I didn't expect to see a troll here. I appreciate your help.
Does he
That man is an assassin.
Does he at all notice my my necklace?
He does, and you notice you notice that the GM forgot to do a little work as to his religion. I'm not sure what Loki is, but it's hanging around his neck.
The what?
Loki's holy symbol.
Loki's
Most
holy
god of
symbol?
kickery and stuff. Yeah. Whatever it happens to be, it is there. He sees your holy symbol, and he just
Well, then, if he's got Loki's holy symbol, two snakes.
Two snakes, cool, got it.
Well,
he looks at you and just in Scald, so what are you doing this far south?
An accident, I guess. Some sort of strange mythical creature from Grungir Forest decided to scoop me up and claim that he was my son and then send me down here.
He laughs.
Also, he would probably notice that I have on my necklace. It depends on which side is showing, but on one side there is a symbol of Njord, and on the other side there's a symbol of Tyr. So
Okay.
he's probably
He
not
knows.
the happiest to see me, but
He's not super thrilled, but he's also kind of like mid acid trip all the time. You get the feeling something's up with the dude's head.
mm,
He asks like if you're with the rebellion.
I'll show him my hand.
He sees it and he again just remains fast around him. I need to get out of here. I need to return to Built as soon as possible.
I understand.
That man, that elf, he's the reason I'm here. He caught me. The Jarl, and he rolls his eyes as he says the Jarl. He paid him to kill me and then double-crossed him to keep his money, and we both were arrested by the Kadirans. He like trails off about like I said, he's a little addled and like drifting from Scald to Elven and back again. But he just seems like, by and large, really thankful that you're here and that you understand him and that you're real.
Excellent. That's all I really have to do. My 6 seconds. So.
Okay, sure. Then we'll go to Donald.
Okay, so I'm going to meet Ghost Elsa to. Would I hear our orc friend go south of me, or
You definitely heard him yelling at the top of his sprinting, followed by a splash. But this was a little while ago.
okay? I'm thinking, should I go west or south? I should be in a group.
Oh, he went south?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I thought he was up here.
Like,
Hmm?
oh, so you heard like south of you where you were. He went running and yelling. Now you're not.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going.
Also, I should probably say he wants to go west. There is wall here.
Yeah, I'm going west, just thinking the best course of action. So all these doors in the immediate proximity have been open, right?
Yeah, they've all been open. There's nobody in there.
Okay, so while moving, part of the free action, I get get a scroll so I can give it to Papa when I meet up with him.
Okay, sure. Is that all?
Yes, and I end my turn.
All right. Everybody's gonna kind of like. They're gonna meet up here. The gnome goes in here and quickly comes back in full Eagle Knight regalia, which kind of makes her look like a 17th century, like, what am I trying to say? Like a 17th century regular, essentially, which is really weird for Pathfinder, but it's what it is. And she has a long sword for her and a shield at her side. Hamid reluctantly goes in there as well and comes back. And it's not his. It looks a little weird on him, but it's like golden scale mail, like what you'd expect to see on a paladin of Serenre. Everyone just kind of like looks around at everybody else. Everybody who's in the room. Let's see, what do I got? I'm going to divide it here. These two are not members of the Cult of the Dawnflower. These three are. They're not necessarily like standoffish, but they draw according to those lines. Mercutio, like, he shakes hands with the gnome and they kind of like awkwardly hug a little bit, and he reaches out to the dwarf, and the dwarf grabs him in a really big bear hug, picks him up off the ground, sets him down. Mercutio looks at, I've got half the party in there, yeah, and just asks you guys what you want to do.
My opinion is we should explore the rest of the place quickly and find the rest of the prisoners if we can, and then get out. The more time we waste here, the more time that the Kadir guards have to plan their assault.
Mercutio nods in agreement, and he tells you that I don't know why Mercutio is like one of the NPCs I don't have a voice for. Maybe he'll have a voice next week.
You do. It's a New Yorker.
Yeah, no, my New Yorker is just terrible.
That's because he's a halfling New Yorker.
Yeah, he's a tiny one. He tells you that you guys probably don't have a whole lot of time left. You guys are dealing with like a professional military force. He casts message at Ennerling and Lucia, and he asks what you guys want to do about the elf and the human. He doesn't know like what they're X factors in his mind. They're not members of the rebellion. They could turn. He's at a bit of a loss as the.
There is. He's talking about Kalren and Hamid.
Kalenren and Hamid, yeah.
Well, if we're gonna, I don't know. Kalren is perfectly fine with me. I have no. He is a countryman, and
He asks if we can trust him.
I'm gonna point to the symbol around his neck and say that means trouble, but that also means that I can deal with him.
Mauricio nods.
Yeah, it's an Ouroboros is around his neck. It's two snakes consuming each other's tails.
Okay, gotcha. Does Lucy have anything to add?
For those two, let's trust them as much as we have to.
All right. Mercutio kind of nods slowly, and he remarks that, like, when this comes to blows, like, he definitely knows that Hamid is a former member of the Qadirian military and may still have ties to them. And when it comes to fighting, he doesn't know exactly, like, where to have them, essentially. In his, like, mind of friend and foe, he assumes that they might turn on you, sell you guys out to the guards, things like that.
Wait, where'd our other elf go?
He has disappeared into the shadows, and it's around this time that Mercutio asks you two what you want to do about Rivariel. He's obviously very, very good at what he does, but he's like, should we go find him? Should we get rid of him now? We try to get him on our side, that kind of stuff.
If he wants to follow us, he can follow us.
Donald?
If we can find him and convince him to join us, that is the best course of option. If we cannot find him, then let him be. We are wasting valuable time here.
Okay, so Mercutio looks at you and he asks you if you want to be the one to convince him.
Convince who?
You there, Donald?
Yes. So convince who?
Convince Rivariel to, like, come over to your side.
Yes. I going to make him a. Let's see. I am think knowing the fire Genasi, would he be willing to accept him as a potential aid and help him in his quest or what he wants?
It's possible.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to appeal to his nature to help us for the greater good, obviously. So.
Okay. Mercutio nods. Just, well, if he shows up again, we'll let you do the talking.
Yeah. So.
And we'll go to Van.
Okay, so now that Pogue understands where people are, all right. So I know we're in initiative, but I don't know if we can do this together with me and Papa, because if I go around looking at the cells, I have to jump up and make action. Take extra actions. But I'm assuming
that
Papa
stuff's fine. You can do that. We're just in, like, things could jump out and grab you, essentially.
Okay. So if Papa's willing to come along, I poked her to Papa. It's like, okay, you find him and I'll unlock him. Let's start going down. Let's start by going towards the pounding that we heard.
Do you agree, Sarah?
That's fine.
I would like to make an offer to our to Erdwin, for time's sake, let us open the other cages. I have the keys here.
So
Okay.
Yes.
we're
It's on Donald. Let Donald do his thing. We'll come to you in a sec.
Okay.
okay.
So Erwin, for time for traveling, I think it's best that you carry me so we can cover more ground quickly.
Okay, but what does Van do?
What do I do?
Because we're still on initiative, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were okay. Where I'm going.
Since Sarah goes next, like Sarah can move with you. That's fine.
Sound is down here.
That's right.
Okay, and am I passing doors on the way? I'm confused about all these now. It's like
You are. Let me make sure everything is revealed to you. Yeah, you see everything. Like, there's a passage here, statue up here. Well, you wouldn't see the statue, but you would have seen it going this way.
okay, one
Door. The pounding is
Three.
coming from like then here.
from where?
Okay, so from there, I'm just kind of like actively grabbing everything. You can see like there's a statue on a dais there. It looks like the one you fought.
Right there.
Right.
Okay, and where's the pounding?
Coming from down in this direction.
I can't.
I'm trying to. Oh, I'm still on the reveal tool. Down this way, like
Okay.
farther down. There's a little bit of board there you don't see.
4, 5, 6.
Okay, so now yeah. That is more than enough.
Okay.
The pounding is coming from right here. It's kind of like you can hear it getting less and less powerful.
Okay.
And there's also a door here.
Okay. So,
If that was a double move, then we go to Sarah.
that was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not a double move.
Okay, so you can keep going if you want.
So, all right. Do I need to make an action to make perception at this guy?
You can
At
just
the
make a perception
statues?
check.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. How the hell?
Did something roll wrong? Oh, okay, I see. You believe that to be a statue. It looks like the one you fought. It's not doing anything yet.
I can't possibly have gotten a 12 because I would have had to roll a 0.
Yeah, fair enough.
19.
Okay, now you are completely convinced that is just a statue and it's not
Okay.
going to jump out and grab you.
All right. So I come up to the door, I guess, with whatever movement I have left,
Sure.
and I guess I'll be prepared to unlock it or open it.
Okay. You can hear like an old man's voice weakly just, I need, and he pounds on the door.
They're
My
coming.
medicine!
They're
Now!
coming.
Medicine! Green bottle! And he just pounds. Like, it starts to like go down in pitch and in like the strength hitting the door, and then it starts to like kick back up again, and then it goes down and down and up.
Okay. Where'd that backpack go?
You can also let me reveal a little more. Let's see, you'd be able to see like here. You can hear from farther down where there's a, I can't remember if you met him. You can hear there's a man, Zeal would like to be free too, please, pounding on the door, and just like
Okay.
over and over and over. He's a little faster, a little more excited.
All right. So I yelled, "Oh, I know where people are." Those sort of right. I can tell my mosquito to go find Mercutio or my wasp.
No, but you can tell you're a wasp. Yeah, that's fine. It'll buzz off.
I found people come down here, bring medicine.
You can say just green bottle, need it
Right.
now.
Right.
pounding
So-
on the door. It kind of
Okay.
gets like, it goes from being really scraggly to really like bestial, and like it
Right.
kind of like wobbles between those two.
Right. Well, I can't open the door this turn, so
Then it would go to Sarah.
yep.
All right, I will catch up. Do. I hear an old man yelling about medicine. Green bottle. All right, Poe, do you have means to unlock this door?
If the rogue doesn't,
I hope so.
I'd be quite disappointed in you.
Sarah, go ahead and roll your d4.
I got a 2.
You have anything else you want to do, Sarah?
Well, now that I'm neutral good, I should go find his medicine.
You're not neutral good until the end of the round, or like the start of the next round.
I see. All right. In that case, I will just let Pogue unlock the door.
Then we go to Joe.
Alright. What I'm probably going to do is spend my time Karen, finding someone who, I guess, Endringling may have a lot of intelligence, but finding someone who can, that he can go around with, who is not, some foreigner that he happened to meet because he was shoved into a strange land by this weird Fey man, is kind of comforting.
Sure.
So, yeah, I guess now Endling has found someone to, like, truly latch onto as kind of an authority figure. It's important to note that, Endling isn't going to be, like, the religious dynamic between, Endling and Karen isn't that great of a span. It's kind of like, I don't know, a Catholic and a Protestant, I guess, is the best way to describe it.
Okay, fair enough.
Where they're both being realistic, not being crazy. Like, where you're a Catholic,
Gotcha.
just kind of two sides of the same coin, or like the same side, but like one's on one edge, one's on the other. As long as
I
he's
understand,
not
I think.
evil, I would have a problem.
As long as he's not trying to kill you.
Yeah.
I guess best word it would be frenemies.
Not quite frenemies, more like I don't have it. Not quite acquaintances, but like Joe summed it up pretty well, I think.
Yes.
So what do Joe?
That's. I'm just going to hold my action and do like follow Karen around, I guess.
Okay. So then it's on Donald.
Okay, I need a partner. So can you bring my familiar out on the map?
I cannot because your familiar's in a cage somewhere.
Oh yes, I forget. So I'm going to ask the Eagle Knight to accompany me, as I'm going to ask her to help me explore further ahead. So it would be southwest
She
of the
outright
map.
refuses and spits at your feet.
Wait,
You
so-
guys fought these guys for a long time, and as far as she's concerned, the war's still on.
So does she want to accompany me going south?
No, like I said, no, she refuses and spits at your feet.
Okay. So the dwarf to the right of me, what is his name?
He has not given you a name. You see Torog's symbol, and
Hmm.
imagine he's some kind of divine caster.
Okay, I'm going to ask him to accompany me further south.
And why would I do that?
We are here to one purpose, to help the rebellion and to get these people out of the prison cell.
And I'm supposed to believe that from you? I think not. And he puts his back to the Eagle Knight. I'm gonna stick with her.
Okay, Mercutio, do you want to accompany me? Accompany me?
He kind of shrugs his shoulders. It's around this time that Van's wasp lands on his like Mercutio's finger, we'll say, and they have a brief little interlude, and then the wasp flies off. And Mercutio tells you guys that Pogue has found more prisoners.
Okay, good. Well, let's meet up with them. So
you want to just move and pass?
yes.
Okay, everybody make a perception check.
Right.
It would be. And I thought trying to be nice and civilized would help. Apparently, that is not helping me.
Not when you're a Chelish noblewoman speaking. Like,
Yeah, I would have
so
thought
everybody, it doesn't take a whole lot of like mental acuity to hear the sounds of booted feet begin to rise again. The alarm cuts off, and like it sounds like whatever was powering the alarm is powering the sounds of these booted feet, and it like echoes louder and louder. It doesn't do anything to you guys like mechanically yet, but you get the feeling that's what's going on. These guys are trying to psych you out.
Okay.
Let me move some NPCs around. All right. What can we do? Who can we move? Let's get on the right tool for starters. Rivariel appears down here, and he looks up at everybody he can see and just, "We're out of time, kids. They're coming." And I know you guys see Temple of the Crystal Skull, but it is supposed to be a table. I will draw it in brown. He kicks it over. Probably occupies about that much space. And like ducks behind it. The Eagle Knight and the Dwarf will both move down here. Mercutio will follow you. Hamid will follow Mercutio. Actually, Hamid's going to go down here. He kind of gets this look on his face like, "Oh, well, it's me. I can solve this." And he goes down here. Colin Wren will... He looks at Enderling and casting message in Scald asks Enderling if he wants to not participate. Just, "Do you want to disappear, my friend?"
No, that would be dishonorable. I've sworn to help these people.
He chuckles and nods, and as he does so, he draws his sword. He will move. That's 30, I think, right? He can move one more. And then I gotta count the squares. Okay, none of the players are involved in this yet. Okay, cool. Van.
Can you say that
Apparently
again?
that was
Not
a
in
robot.
robot.
Yeah. Nope, robot is what I do. Van, you're on.
Okay.
Beep boop boop beep boop.
Beep.
Beep boop beep. That was the thing.
Okay. So, Pogue is going to try and open that door.
Okay, so as you do so, an old man like falls into your arms. Make a perception check.
Okay.
So this guy's balding for the most part, except for like what little bit of hair he has, all like stringy and long, falls over the front of his face, and he's got a white goatee, and he's really like gangly looking. He's pretty tall for a human, which I mean that's really tall for you. This guy's pushing 7 feet tall. He continues just, "I need my medicine," and he looks up at you, and you can see like horns are actively sprouting from his head. His eyes have turned all black. His ears are like springing out. I'll move his token onto the board.
Okay.
You're not sure what's going on, but it looks like this guy's like morphing into a demon before your very eyes.
Lucia, didn't you have a bag of potions or something from the equipment room?
She noticed the bag, but she didn't take it. She took 3 spell books and some items.
No. I didn't take that bag.
Make yourself useful.
Are you guys in talking range? Oh, okay, yeah, you are.
Yeah,
I see her. I couldn't see her. I have the token selected. And
So, all right. So where's so first of all, I guess Pogue is trying to he's here in the he's probably being a little bit shorter than he means to be. No pun intended.
But indeed taken.
But indeed taken, as I knew it would. Unfortunately, after I said it. So he's somebody else said they needed to be saved, and he's here in the boots.
Yeah, you hear like the boots are magnified like
Right.
I can't think of that World War II movie. Damn it.
Lots of them.
Yeah, there are many. But like it's like a psychological war kind of thing. Sounds like somebody's amplifying the sound.
It would be jack boots.
Yes, that's true.
You can also hear like Lucia recognizes Zeal's voice, that Fire Ganassi you guys had met, like at the top of his voice screaming. Just Zeal would like to leave now, please.
All right, so where is
Also,
he?
Lucia can probably see. Yeah, we'll say he makes an appearance. I'm gonna move him onto the. But there's a satyr. He puts his like horns and hair and face up to his like the part of the door you can see through, and he just like quizzically looks out, fucking terrified looking. You can hear Zeal from south.
Where's down here?
Down yonder. Yeah. You'd be able to see it.
Okay.
So yeah, you would.
1, 2, 3. Where's the door?
It's I'll just reveal it. The door is where the token is.
Okay. And I guess I can't open it till the next turn anyway, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's what I'm doing. I see anything else around? Was there?
Yeah, you would see more. Hang on a sec. There are stairs going down there.
Okay. Do I notice anything scent-wise, perhaps?
You do not.
Okay.
Is that all?
Yeah, I guess that's it. That's all I can do.
Okay, then we go to Sarah.
Tell him to help him out, and then.
Okay. He sounds relieved. Sarah, what do? You are back to neutral good for probably the rest of the session since we're at 9:58. Yeah, this is probably last turn. We'll start with Sarah and then move back to Sarah.
Oh my god, it went quickly.
It usually does. Yeah, it's weird. It's probably because like when we play like for realsies, we play like all day. So I'm like just getting warmed up, and now it's time to knock off.
Yeah,
but I digress. Sarah, what's up?
Have we found this old man his medicine?
You have not. Neutral good emeritus C. Well, can you make a knowledge religion check? You can just check. Okay. You are out of hero points and can't take that one back. You know,
Jesus.
and I think Paizo may. So I'm gonna take that errata and poop on it because I don't like when Paizo erratas things. I think it has been errated so tieflings and Azamars and the like age like regular humans, but we're playing it along the line like a tiefling comes of age at like 120. You see an old man who like it looks like his tiefling blood has just now manifested late in life, and he is actively like tieflinging out before your very eyes. He obviously has a big problem with it, and you get the feeling that his medicine is helping him control his transformations. But UNAT 1, what can I do?
She's now won 3 times.
She has. One of them was back to back. You are absolutely convinced this guy is tieflinging out. He's like pit fiending out, and you have a matter of rounds before he becomes like a high CR devil.
Ah, crap. All right. I ask him, like, do you know where your medicine is? Well, I mean, I know it's in that closet thingy, right?
You know, but Emeritus does not know. And as you say what you say, he like grasps your robe with hands that are becoming claws and then going back like he's metamorphosizing before your very eyes. He looks up at you with eyes that have become just black pools of nothingness, and horns are sprouting from his head, and his teeth are like fanging out before you. And just medicine now. and like his grasp on your hands gets a little too rough. He starts like drawing blood. You don't need to roll damage, but like his claws are digging into you. It hurts.
Ow! Alright, Alright, I say, I don't know where you're... Well, I guess I can make like a knowledge, like... Remember something that happened a few seconds ago.
I don't know where... Again, you are entirely convinced this guy is hostile. And you have a matter of seconds before he becomes like a really powerful devil that can just swat you guys away with little to no effort.
Crap, okay. Can I make a knowledge, like, the engineering check to try and remember the closet? Would that work? I don't
You
want
can. We'll just say you remember exactly where it is, and it's a logical conclusion. Everyone else has been.
Alright, I'm just trying not to metagame. Alright, let's zoom out on my computer.
Okay.
There's the closet, okay. I'll make like a mad dash for that closet right now.
Okay, roll CMB. He's grappling you.
Oh, okay.
Just don't know one.
You try to squirm away, but you watch, like, before your eyes, this guy's arms start to hulk out, and he starts getting, like, muscles on his muscles on his muscles, and you can't break.
Alright, I'll, like, shout for help and say to the man, like, I can't help you unless you let go of me.
You no longer speak Infernal because this is your present alignment state, but you recognize it, and he, like, just gasps at you in Infernal. Since we are low on time, let's pass to Joe. It looks like south of you, everybody's getting ready to defend that position, but you can definitely hear someone shouting in Infernal.
Okay. Where are the boots coming from?
It sounds like it's echoing all around you. Like the sounds of the alarm blaring have been replaced with that, like they're trying to get inside your head.
Okay.
It was something the Russians did in World War II, and there's a World War II movie that takes place at the Battle of Stalingrad. I cannot, for the life of me, remember the name of that movie. Enemy at the Gates. The movie is Enemy at the Gates.
Yeah.
We're good.
And it wasn't, they were trying to freak them out, they were playing their national anthem over and over again.
Also good.
They had, I forget what building it was. It was it was an old radio broadcast tower, and they found a phonograph in it. And the Germans were literally across the street, and they were playing the like new national anthem.
I think I know the building that you're talking about. It would be Pavlov House.
I don't know about that. Nonetheless, I'm going to move there in the middle of the room, or in the middle of that hallway.
Okay.
Just kind of like hunker down.
Understood. If that is all, then
Okay, my turn. I'm going to go up to the door here and unlock the door for the satire, and I'm going to convince the devil that is holding Papa that the medicine is in the closet, and I gave him the directions.
okay, that sounds like a diplomacy check. He's pretty far gone.
Yes. Dice, don't mess with me now.
Do you still have a hero point left? I think everybody used it.
I used it up. So
Sarah
do
used a
I?
hero point to no avail. He does not hear you. In going, I need my medicine to I need your flesh.
Okay, he is out of it. He is bonkers. This is not good. So
The satyr comes out, and he, for a satyr, he's exceptionally well built, and he has scars like all up. And actually, you are. Make a knowledge check of some kind.
let's see.
I'll
Satyr.
call it like local. Make it knowledge local.
Okay. And this is something I'm actually quite good at. I have a 10 modifier in that. 18. That's slightly better.
Okay, so you know that all across the Empire, blood's pretty common and it's pretty popular, especially in Cheliax, where people have no problem like getting slaves that are a little too strong and pitting them against one another. And you recognize this satyr. You don't know him by name, you don't know anything about him, but you know he was a slave in your house, and like you guys would sell him and like rent him to various gladiatorial arenas. And he was pretty lucrative for you guys. He didn't like it, you know he hated it, but your family didn't care. And like he's like your Spartacus, essentially, like pre-rebellion, just like a really, really, really good gladiator. He sees you, he recognizes you. He doesn't say anything yet, but you know he knows who you are.
Can you help me get the medicine from the closet? I don't want my friend to die.
He looks at you and says nothing.
Okay. Okay, so I can't really do any more diplomacy rolls.
Well, you can. It's fine. You can do one more.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to ask nicely. So 26.
That is pretty nicely. Okay,
Yeah.
as you begin to talk, you see him kind of like crouch down into a stance and all his muscles tighten, like he's about to tackle you. And then you say what you say, and he relaxes a little bit. He realizes that like he's in a lot of trouble right now, and he just get me out of here.
I promise.
Get me to safety, and I won't kill you right now, LaCroix.
I promise I will get you out. This is why I am here. I'm helping a friend of mine to get all of you out.
He, without saying another word, he takes off.
Okay, so
everybody like, the gear is over here, haha. And so he like runs over here and he comes out. You can kind of see him over everybody break combat. He's got a pair of short swords, and really like the armor is extremely piecemeal and it's not really protecting anything. You're talking just like a strap across his chest, like diagonally from like shoulder to love handle, essentially, and a little bit to cover his waist, and like boots up to the knee. But this is what he fought in for House LaCroix, and that's what he's comfortable fighting in. Okay, he has a couple of javelins. He's got a trident, a net, like your standard gladiator fare, essentially.
Cool. So he is getting the medicine for our associate.
He is not.
Oh.
He looks like he's just gonna go join the...
Okay. I try to be nice and help people, and they are not doing what I ask.
Well, this guy is a former slave of your... Whether or not you rolled high, he's still not in much of a position to listen to you.
Well, he just didn't kill you.
It was my parent that did this. It's not
had you rolled low, he was definitely
going... Okay. Not like I have to do this the hard way, get the medicine and help Papa out. I'm not having a good day here.
Fair enough. Is that all?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys hear like the sound of boots on stone intensifies, and in addition to you guys hearing it like broadcasted, you can also hear it begin to echo from like over this way. What all happens? We'll say Rivariel's going to stay where he is. The gnome whose name you don't know, the dwarf whose name you don't know, he goes here. Colin Wren goes here. And is anyone in his... Yeah. Okay, so Lucia and Ennerling, both of you make will saves. So now we're just waiting on Donald.
He rolled a...
Did he? Oh, he rolled a 24. I see. Okay, so you guys both... Let me see if I can... I think I can make that work, can't I? Yes, I can. So... I'm not sure if that's going to do anything. Okay, yeah, it does. Everywhere that turned yellow, you guys see spectral elfin warriors appear like out of the ground with those of them carrying shields and spears, lock like shield wall style. There's some of them with big old axes. Some of them are riding. Enterling would recognize a sleep mirror when he sees it. Lucio would just see like weird 8-legged horse. Valkyries like hover into the air. I can't think of the name of God. What are they called?
What?
The like people that have gone to Ragnarok. Einar
Yeah.
Einar like tower over everybody with these big weapons. You two pass, so they all appear like blue and spectral, and you're entirely convinced you're looking at an illusion, but it is a very, very, very convincing one. Also, like dire wolves and wargs and winter here. What else? I'm just pulling out all the Norse flavor I possibly can. That'll be good for now, since we're low on time. So Van gets a turn, Sarah gets a turn, then we'll call it. Van, what do you do? Well, actually, I need Van to make a will save. Van and Sarah both need to make will saves, because you are caught in that aura.
Which aura?
The yellow.
I don't see an aura.
Oh, weird. How do I can see it. YouTube can see it. How do I make where you guys can see it?
It must be an illusion.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
of course.
see it.
I've clearly passed it.
That's really
I
weird.
just went with it.
So I'm gonna see what happens when I do this. Did anything change? No, I can't see what I did.
So
That's
what
really
am I
weird.
making? Will save?
Yeah, both of you make will save. Try to figure out how I do this.
All right. 13.
I have no idea why you can't see that. That's weird. I can make it change color. Sarah sees by looking at my screen what I'm doing and sees that I'm not crazy. There's an aura there. Do you guys?
Not crazy.
Regardless, both of you fail. Actually, yeah, okay, yeah, both of you fail. You guys see spectral Norse warriors, essentially Valkyries flying in the air at the top of the cell, men with like bows and spears and shields and axes and things, men with lances. Well, I guess you would just see big spears on the backs of 8-legged horses that are like pawing the ground. These guys have appeared out of nowhere.
Okay, so I got a
You
question.
know that there's illusion place,
Yeah.
but you are convinced these guys are real.
So even though I know that I just went through an illusion and I know there's an illusionist from the north.
You got the +4 for knowing there's an illusion. It still failed.
Okay. All right. So I'm like, oh my God, we got to get the hell out of here because I'm standing in front of this door. So I open the cell.
Okay. And Zeal comes popping out and he passes his save. He looks around. First, he's really aghast. And then like you see him put his hand like on a like they're called Einar, but for the sake of brevity, they're like Norse warriors who have died and been taken to Ragnarok, fight all day and drink night and fight again. That's what they are.
Tommy, not Ragnarok. Ragnarok is an event.
Yeah, Valhalla.
Whatever, you guys get what I'm saying. He puts his hand, you see it like touch the thing's chest, but he puts his hand through it and just, this is a very convincing illusion. Zeal is impressed. And he continues to like pat things on the head.
Okay. So I haven't had a chance to look down here yet. 1, 2, 3. Do I see anything down the stairs?
Yeah, you see there's a hallway going down this. I wanted to reveal that whole thing. You also see, what do you see? You see something, that is for sure. I have way too many tokens. I need to organize my token. Another gargoyle. This one is actively moving at you.
Okay. Like, Jesus, let's get out of here. Or
Okay.
Calistria, let's get out of here.
Jesus, or Calistria, whoever is listening. Is that all?
3, yeah.
Okay, Sarah, one more action.
All right. This guy's still pinning me down.
Yeah, he pays no mind to the illusory soldiers that have popped up all around you.
I'm probably quite frightened. Okay. Probably just shouting for help at this point, trying to squirm away. So I guess it's CMB, which I suck at. But I'll try.
At least you're not a halfling.
Well, I roll a 2, so I might as well be. There's the yellow. I see it.
I figured it out. I've leveled up my roll 20 powers.
Ah! No!
Did you not want again?
All right, there's something broken.
That's 4. Okay, so there's a lot of things I can do, and this is essentially the last action before the session ends for the night. Which kind of sucks because I'm enjoying myself, but it is what it is. What can I do? A lot of things can happen. I'm gonna say, in trying to get away, you like you put your foot where there is an illusion, and you trip and you fall prone, and the man who is tieflinging out like falls down on top of you, and he begins to start like savaging you. Let's grab a d20.
I don't like the sound of this.
You're not supposed to.
Okay, I don't know.
Sounds great.
Lydia,
Does that hit your flat-footed?
Savaging. Love the sound of that.
why am I picturing a Midsummer Night Dream scene?
No.
No, you are not picturing. So he begins to like try to tear into you, but he can't get past his armor. Donald, you see this. He is like, his horns have stopped like coming out of his head. They are fully emerged. You see a tiefling with devilish ancestry just tearing into Emeritus. And that is where we are going to call it. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. We will see you in a week.